Hello and welcome to Nanapod, a podcast dedicated to the fantastic manga written by A. Yazawa. I'm Crystal, and I'm joined by my best girl Kirsten as we dissect this manga, discussing everything from the emotions, the cultural impact, as well as any headcanons that might be floating around in our brains. With this podcast, we hope to preserve a shoujo staple that sadly hasn't been talked about in a very long time. So come with us. We're waiting for you in apartment 707.
COVID brain episodes
Oh God.
are gone
Okay. Yes, COVID brain episodes are gone, and I'm gonna recheck to
from the brainworms.
from the brainworms.
From the brainworms.
I get to go double check my work.
Hey Craig, welcome. Welcome to our brainworm chat.
Brainworm chat.
No, but I think that like brainworms, Bouldergate brainworms, and COVID is. I mean, those are. I do think that there's something there.
I mean, it could be. I guess playing the game with your friends is actually more fun. I'm like, but do you have to have brainworms in order to have fun?
I mean, if you're that evil guy, but he probably doesn't
Right.
have friends in real life.
Mm, that is.
Oh,
Oh no, you're probably right though. He's evil.
he's evil.
He's evil. It's
Um,
so lonely when you're evil.
Except if you're gonna sing a song like that, you're not really that evil.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of
You have to be kind. You have to.
yeah. It
Uh,
is Voltaire, so you know.
I know, right? Voltaire is not that evil. I'm
No.
sorry. Like, no, you're a spooky babe.
Yep.
You're a spooky babe. That's it. But babe is still in there. And if you have babe in your title, I'm sorry, but you're a big old softy.
It's true.
I mean, if you've just replaced pink with black, are you really that hard? No.
Mm-mm.
No. No. Not at all.
Not at
Okay.
all. I hope I'll get to go to it. I'm still waiting on the date and time, but they're going to be like doing a screening of Howl's Moving Castle like
Oh yeah,
sometime
it
October.
just
I'm like,
happened.
"Oh, did it?
Yep.
Did it?
Yep.
Yeah. This
This
one's a
month this month is going to be Spirited Away.
Oh, okay. This one's like someone's doing this like I think at their personal spot. I think they're doing
Oh, okay. See, I go to the AMC theater every month to see the Ghibli movies. I've been doing it. How many years have they been? Hold on. I've been doing it since the first year. I saw House Moving Castle in LA when it was first released in the States because it only showed there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we went to LA to
I
see
saw
it.
Steam Boy in New York City when it first came out. That was
And
pretty
then they
cool.
also show like different anime in between. It's
Oh,
part
we
of like
went
the
and
kids.
oh, yes. We went and saw Haunted Mansion over the weekend.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go see. I'm not particularly thrilled about the movie title.
Oh?
Well, I'm gonna go see The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, m- um not the Tim Burton movie, I take it?
No, the Tim Burton movie.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a big fan,
That I
and
mean,
I don't like fans.
that's fair.
They're annoying,
Yep.
and I think that the merch is tacky.
Yeah, I'm more of a Corpse Bride person.
Neither. It's a brand
That's
of people.
it's
There's only like one person that falls into like a super fan that I absolutely adore. Like
hmm
absolutely adore. And like I have friends who fall into like the fandom, right? Which I get it. I get it. It's just not my aesthetic. I don't like that particular like gothic aesthetic personally. I
You,
understand it, but I don't love it.
you mean like kitschy?
Yeah, kinda, I guess.
Yeah.
Like where there's like neon mixed in with the black.
Oh, that. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Blacklight goth.
Yes, that's what yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah, I just
It's
I
not
just call it
personal.
that.
It's not personal. It's just an aesthetic that I don't like,
That's fair.
right? But Nathan found a theater in Bremerton that's like a dinner bar
Uh-huh.
that's showing The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Cool.
And, like, I used to watch it a lot as a kid because I'm the right age,
Mhm.
right? Like, it was a kids movie for me.
Mhm.
Like, some people would watch a lot of Disney. I would watch a lot of horror movies. Um,
I mean, both, because that's me. I
I
am Sparkle
I didn't
Goth
like all the
Princess.
Disney movies. I just didn't like all of them. Um,
Oh, I can't
but,
say
like,
same.
my mom was, like, a movie junkie, and, like, we lived in the middle of nowhere, so like, when we'd go to the movie place, like, every couple of nights, like, video update, and I could get VHS tapes for $1, so I was allowed to get a couple of them, and I just slowly alphabetically made my way through, and I was probably, like, 9 or 10 when I started doing this, but alphabetically made my way through the horror section.
I appreciate your alphabetizing and
Well,
going
I had
through
to start at
that.
the beginning.
Yeah, of course.
You have to start at the beginning of the book.
You
So
do?
that's what I did. You begin at the beginning. And you know what I mean? So like there's that. I don't even remember everything. Like sometimes I'm like, what was that one? You know, but we know I take in a lot of information.
This is true. I
I
mean,
always have.
I told Nate about I don't know if you would remember this movie because you watched a lot of horror, but you taken a lot of info, but I described to him a movie that my mom had rented, and she thought just because she looked at the cover that it was going to be like kid friendly because she's like there's like like a wizard on here, so this will be fun.
Uh-huh.
And then we watched it. It was the most terrifying thing I'd ever seen in my life. It was like a series of like anthology like short stories.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of there's some really good horror anthologies that are like shock horror.
Yeah, I think if I watched it now as an adult, I'd be like, this is like the coolest fucking thing ever. But as a kid, I was just like, my stomach kind of hurts, like because you're not used to it because you watch a lot of Disney movies.
Yeah.
So, I just remember this one where there's a guy and he takes something from a shop he's not supposed to because the guy's basically like, oh, you can wish on this thing, it'll give you whatever you want. And the guy's like terrible, he's awful to his wife. And then it's like a whole scene of him in the basement, like trying to make a wish happen, except he's summoned some sort of like panther and it's like chasing him around the room, but you don't see the panther, you can only hear it, and then occasionally it'll like swipe his face. And it was like, oh my God, super like terrifying. And like the wife wants to have a child.
Is it
And
from the 80s?
yes, it is.
Did it okay, it might have been called Tales of the Dark Side series from 1983 to 1988.
Is
They
it
also had a
Tales?
movie. Oh, so what I put into Google, I put anthology horror movies 90s with a shop of wishes and a panther.
The Dark Side. Is it a specific number?
Hold on, there's also a movie. Let's open the movie.
Yeah, the movie. That makes
Um, that does not have a wizard on the cover, but it does have like a creepy cat thing holding a book.
It does have a creepy cat thing holding the book. Just remember at the end of that story, because the wife like wanted a child,
Mm-hmm.
like she ends up like her husband gets turned into the baby. Like it's very like here's your wish, but like she gets to have the
Mm.
wish because she's actually like a good person, whereas he's a garbage human being.
Husband turns into baby.
You're gonna get weird things off of that search result.
I got the same thing again.
Okay.
Tales of the
So,
Dark Side, the movie.
okay.
Okay, so let's scroll through other things that might be similar. Oh, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I watched that one. I used to sneak out of bed when I was little,
Mm-hmm.
and I would slowly snake behind the couch and peek my little eyeballs out to see the TV. And my
Mm-hmm.
parents were watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space because I was supposed to be in bed. And it took me until my 20s when I was under the influence of some substances and the movie came on for me to realize that that movie gave me nightmares my whole life and
Oh
I could never
no.
place where it came from.
Nate loves that movie. He's like, look at how cheese.
I was too young.
Yep, way.
I was like 3.
Oh yeah, you're just baby.
Yep. Okay,
Uh,
so I'm looking through all of these covers.
Maybe it's the cat from hell. Yeah, maybe it was like this one where he's just like, "Oh, there's a cat, and it's a
And
thing."
like because it was kid brain, you may have like remembered a very small little detail or line and then in turn made that the whole story because that's the part you remember
Maybe.
through like the memory recycling process.
Yeah, I just, I remember that verbatim because I don't know, it just scared me so bad.
I watched a horror anthology with an ex and I wish I remembered the name of it because it was so good. And in between each little film, that you were in like an audience of like a creepy theater and
Oh.
like they would announce like what the next story was and they were kind of based on folk stories. Some of them were like modern tales and they were done by different directors. Like one of them was about this woman who like lived in the mountains and she actually would turn into like a frog. Um but like and that's based on like an actual like story and it's like this couple who goes up there and their car breaks down, and then she like seduces the man because she has to procreate all this stuff. um One of them was about this woman who like got a boyfriend and then just started feeding him to make him fat and then took him to a dinner party where all these other people did the same thing with the partners so that they could eat the people.
Mhm. Good
But
times.
like it was like also hyper surreal and like really
Mhm.
bright and bizarre.
Those are fun though.
Right? And so I wish I remembered what that one was called because it was actually really good. Okay, I guess we should
Right.
get to the chapter. We covered a lot of bases.
We did not tangent. We're
Yeah,
fine.
we did not. It's fine. It's fine. You loved it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so in the last chapter, okay, so we're on chapter 34, volume 10.
Yes.
In the last chapter, um, Hachi, okay, so in the last chapter, let's see, it was September 11th. It was 9/11.
It was 9/11
And we started
and
off the chapter by saying, well, we know what was on TV for us, what was on TV for Nana.
for Nana.
And there was actually something, the whole chapter was about like breaking news on television, which I think is really the Demon Lord.
Mhm.
It's not the same level of drama, but like in the Yazuwa verse, I would say that it is relative.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
and like it's also really uncanny
Mhm.
that because Yazawa would have written the episode before 9/11 happened, and the
Mhm.
episode is about breaking news.
Yep.
And I love that synchronicity so much. Like I love it so, so much. Um,
It's good.
it's just so uncanny,
Yeah. Uncanny
right? Like
Valley.
I was
We
really
live in it.
thinking about that during the week, and I'm like, man, timing of the Ozoaverse, the bent universe.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
got the better breaking news story.
they did. They got the better breaking news, uh, globally,
Yep. Globally.
globally. You know.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, like mm, yeah, so we have all the drama and now Gaia is essentially forced to let Blast make their debut.
Mhm.
Which is also really cool. And I think that this is actually like when the debut happens, it's like a really beautiful moment for the Nanas and their friendship.
Mhm.
But like we also saw yet again how bad Nana is at communicating.
Yeah.
Like she just and this goes into like her, I guess, personhood, right?
Mhm.
Like she's just bad at communicating. She wasn't taught healthy communication skills.
No.
That's just like that's it, right? That's like the whole nutshell is she wasn't taught healthy ways to have relationships.
Mm-mm.
Um Otherwise like her and Hachi would be talking. Like Nana doesn't know how actually to be there for someone else because she's not there for herself.
Mhm.
And nobody's ever really been there for her except for Ren.
Yeah.
Like even Nobu and Yasu are always there for Nana, but she's never there for them because they don't have the same need. Nana's still very much at a place in her life where that self-awareness hasn't kicked in. And so like she's really not privy to how much people show up for her because it's almost like it's almost like she doesn't know how to accept that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that goes into self-awareness and not understanding that she's the problem in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
Um, but again, like what are they, 20? So, you know,
Yeah.
they're in their 20s.
The babies.
They're little babies. They're little babies.
Little babies.
So like in my chapter, I do have a colored page, colored panel of the first page with the little rich people TV in the kitchen.
Yep.
And it's like multicolored, like yellows, oranges, pinks, and purples, like watercolor. It's not really, I don't know. It's like sunlight, I guess maybe.
Mm-hmm. It is the
Like,
morning.
yeah, it is the morning. Like if it was like a stained glass window,
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
watercolor, like blotches.
Yeah.
And it says, at that time in my room, I had no TV and no telephone. So I was the last one to find out. I was extremely unhappy. So this is from Nana's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have another color panel. So you have the black and white. Is it 2 pages that it says
Oh,
chapter 34 on it? And it says Blackstones and Nana. And it's like an image of them
yep.
in like, I don't know, their living room.
Yeah.
So mine is also multicolored in the same color scheme as the above.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's cute. It's really cute. It would make a really good like wallpaper. I don't know
Yeah.
why I haven't seen it on any of the wallpaper, like Nano wallpaper websites.
I don't know.
Honestly, like it's kind of weird now that I'm thinking about it. I've never seen it as an option for download. And so then we see the river, the classic view of the little river, and the phone rings, and it's Shoji, and he is yelling into the phone, Kyosuke, hurry and turn on the TV. And of course, Kyosuke and June are sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Kyosuke just looks like concerned, like his normal dad concerned face.
Yep.
Like that's a thing. And like June is like rubbing her eyes, and Kyosuke's like, huh? So early in the morning. And and so then it's a shot of Shoji and Sachiko in Sachiko's apartment, which is so cute, by the way. Like, I love this little space. I can't wait to build it again in Sims because it's so cute. Um, and Sachiko is like panicking watching the TV, and Shoji is
Yeah.
like, right? She's like panicking.
Yeah. She's
I don't know
sweating.
why. I don't know why she's panicking, but okay. Um,
And
and probably
brush
because
with face.
Shoji's like freaking out, but like how I guess maybe because like Sachiko has met Nana.
Yeah, like she stepped in front of her one time and
Well,
was
and at the rest like that whole saga, right? That whole moment.
mm-hmm.
Um, and so Shoji's still yelling at the phone and he's just like, turn on the TV, damn it. How oh, you'll know soon enough. And then Kyosuke's like, what happened? And it's like, it wasn't 9/11. It's okay, but it is 9/11. It's just not bombs. Um,
Right.
it's not bombs, but it is kind of a bomb. It's a bomb dropping. It's still a bomb dropping.
Still a bomb. It's just
There are
it's
no planes involved. Okay, there we go.
no.
There's the difference. There's no planes involved.
No.
Conspiracy theory says though. Um, and then he yells again, "Oh my god!" Or and then let's see, somebody yells, "Oh my god, they're on TV." Oh, that's no, Hachi's dad. Hachi's dad. So Hachi's family is also watching the news on the TV. It's a split screen. One image of Nana, one image of Ren, and it says Ren's lover revealed. And so yeah, there's yelling, "Oh my god, they're on TV." and we don't actually know who's yelling. Maybe her sister, her younger sister,
Yeah,
yelled it. That's
that's
what I would guess. That's what I would guess.
mm-hmm.
The dad then yells, "Yo, isn't she the cutie we know?" Does he call her cutie in yours?
No, he just says, "Hey, isn't that Nana's hot roommate?"
Oh God, I don't. I think that's worse.
It's
I
worse.
think it's worse. I think it's worse. I think it is.
That's so
Um,
gross.
yeah, I think it's definitely worse. Um, and so Hachi's mom is like, "You're right. She looks a lot cuter on television." Her older sister says, "I don't think she's just cute. She's also really pretty." Her younger sister, is that Nami? I can't remember. I get the two mixed up.
Mm-hmm. That's
Is like,
yeah, not me.
yeah. She's like, "Oh my God, why is Sis's friend with Ren?" And like in mine, the font that is used for that is like scribbling and bolded.
Yeah, mine's kind of like that too.
And so then our dad is like, "You're so noisy. I can't hear the TV." She's like yelling, "Yeah," like freaking out. And so then Nami grabs Hachi's dad by the shirt and is angry. And is like, "Don't tell me the one whose sis is marrying isn't also an idol. She said he's in the music industry, right? Huh?" And then she's like, "Who is it?" She's
See,
like,
see, Hachi called it. She's like, my sister knows. She's gonna freak out and tell everybody.
"Yep, exactly." And so Hachi's dad is like, "I don't know." And she's like, "Why didn't you ask properly? What kind of father are you?" And so he's like, "Whoever made my daughter pregnant can't be a good man." And he's like crying and it says, "Damn it. How could he do this?" And so then Nami's like, "Oh, so that's how it is." You perverted old man. And she's like, "You were just pretending to be nice to cover up your jealousy." What?
I don't know what she's even going on
Ex-
about.
I don't either. I'm like, what is going on here? And so then the older sister is like, "Nami," in the back with like a sweat bead and her eyes are closed. And then the mom is making the same face and she's like, "I hope he's a good man with a decent job. He's visiting our home on Sunday, so please don't say anything stupid." And Nami's like, "Huh? He's coming? How interesting." And there's like little flowers popping up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Oh God, here we go." And we have a scene change and it's Hachi.
She's Hachi, and there's a bam as the door flies open, and she's screaming Takumi because he's still asleep. And
Like
now we
yelling, like
yelling,
yelling.
yeah, just absolutely yelling. And then now it's back at the TV, and we have our two news announcers. And we have a picture of Ren in the background here on Channel 7. It says Ren Hanjo has a girlfriend.
Oh, mine doesn't say that.
Oh, does it say anything?
It just nope, it's just a picture of him and them
Just a
like
picture of Ren.
newscasting. Yeah, I wonder
You
what your
just,
newscasting says. Go. I'm so curious.
okay.
I'm so
So,
invested.
right. So the lady says Blackstones was originally a band that Ren started in his hometown. Were they lovers from the beginning? And this guy over here, business suit, he says, sure looks like it. The lead singer, Nana, was 16 then, but she moved in with Ren, who lived on his own. And then the lady says, living with her boyfriend at 16? Wow. Ren was scouted by Trapnest right before they made their major label debut and left Blackstones, right? The couple apparently broke up at that point. Yes, says the man. When bandmates who are also lovers leave the band, it gets ugly, and Nana is known to be hot headed. She apparently badmouthed Ren to anyone who'd listen.
Oh, interesting.
Are they different?
Slightly. Okay, slightly. Like obviously, like the big thing is always the language differences, right?
Mm hmm.
And so like most of it's on point. But like when he's like explaining cuz he's like, "Yes, his leaving made their relationship worse and Nana couldn't stand it and started to spread rumors about how much she hated him."
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so much worse.
She never said anything. She didn't want anybody to know. But
Right?
this is what the mosquito man, Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Mosquito wanted. Dr. Mosquito
Mm-hmm.
wanted this. He
Right.
wrote the story. He sold it to them.
Yep. Well, when there's nothing to like find, they just make shit up. So it's
Yeah,
annoying.
exactly. Exactly.
Um, and so Hachi's yelling. She's like, "That's so not true." And Takumi says, "Oh, shut up! You can't listen to that crap. It doesn't matter if it's true or not."
Oh, that's not what he says. It's
Is it
not.
worse?
No, no, actually, because like she says, "What the hell are they saying?" It's not like that. And like she's kind of like she's just saying it, and she's like, and Takumi's in the kitchen now, right? And he
Mm-hmm.
like looks at her, and he's obviously frustrated. Of course he is, right? This affects his band, so let's think of that first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he is being reactive. So is she, right? But
Yep.
he's like, "Shut up! Don't scream at me. They don't care about the truth. It's less bad in mine."
Mm. Like she was
He says,
screaming at the
"Don't scream
TV.
at me." No, in mine, like she's pointed at him.
Oh.
Yeah, like if you look at the perspective, because like she's not looking like the way that it is, she's not looking at the TV. And then when we go to the next panel, she's like looking at him.
Oh, I was kind of read it as like she's yelling at the TV and then he's like, shut up. And
No,
then
I
she
think that she's
turns to
trying to
look
have
at
a
him.
conversation with him.
Mm.
Because she's asking, what the hell are they saying? Question mark. It's not like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so he's like, shut up, don't scream at me. Now, granted, the shut up doesn't need to be there, but like, don't
Right.
scream at me, right? So it's all about like how you would vocalize that. Because I remember when I first read it in the Viz Media translation, I was like, why is he taking it out on her? I'm reading it in this translation now, also being older, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. Like, yeah, he's pissed, but he's like literally saying, don't scream at me. They don't care about the truth.
Yeah.
Right. So I like originally I remember taking it in of why is he yelling at her?
Yeah. I
But
mean,
now
it's
I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, he's not actually yelling at her. He's like, hey, like, don't yell at me. But he's yelling back.
mm-hmm. But
Right.
yeah. I'm interested to know what the comments say because I'm pretty sure that they're going to be rife with like,
Yeah, exactly.
fuck you, Takumi.
And like
But,
originally I remember thinking that.
mm-hmm.
Right? When I was younger, I remember thinking that and just being like, she's emotional. He's angry. But now that I'm older, I'm like, no, he is emotional too. This affects his entire livelihood and
Mm-hmm.
hers.
I mean, I kind of figured that's why he was reacting like that anyway, even though I'm just like, you
But
don't.
like since here he's saying don't scream at me,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's setting a boundary. Hey, like this isn't my fault.
Yeah. She was just like, I'm not worried. But then he turns away because
Yep.
he's getting
He's
on
on the
his
phone.
phone.
He
Yeah, he's
grabbed
like
his
beep
phone and
beep.
he's making a phone call or he's getting a
Yep.
mess. Yeah, he's making a phone call.
Yep. And the lady on the TV says we have to break for a commercial here as Takumi goes for his phone. And Hachi says, "What do you mean it doesn't matter?" And he's on the phone with Taki. He says, "Hey, Taki, yeah, I'm watching it. This sucks. It had to happen when we're too busy to deal with it. Give me a break." And Hachi's got the dot dot dots and a small sweat drop. And Takumi says, "I warned Ren to be careful so many times, but he had to have his little girlfriend and get us in this mess." And Hachi screams at him, "What do you mean, this mess? How can you say that?" And he says, "Shut up. This has nothing to do with you."
Oh man, see yours is so different.
Mm-hmm. Is he
Just the
telling her not to
small
scream?
language just the small language changes because like at first she says what do you mean by they don't care,
I mean, they
right?
don't.
Yeah, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean like she's asking what do you mean they don't care, right? Because she doesn't understand like media at all. She's why would she, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he says in what was the thing, um
Like they're
the
in a
mess,
mess.
right? They're in a
Yeah, they.
mess, yeah. So like in mine it says and now we're in trouble. And that's
Mm,
very different. He says, I told him many times to be careful and now we're in trouble. He
mm-hmm.
says we're in
Yeah.
trouble, right? And so then she's like, what do you mean by trouble? You shouldn't say that. But she's like, I think that she's yelling.
Yeah. There's
And
a
then
lot
he
of
raises his
exclamation points.
voice. to shut up. Would outsiders
Hmm.
please shut up? Because she
Maybe.
doesn't actually understand and her commentary is not helping. It doesn't
Mm.
make it okay that he's talking to her that way, first and foremost. Again, though, they're in their
No.
20s, and this is
Well,
like
yeah.
the early 2000s, right? And it's also a different
Yeah.
culture, but like he does
But
specifically say, "Would outsiders please shut up?"
this is why later I'm actually grateful for Yasu because we've talked about
Yasu is a freaking
Yasu.
king.
Yeah, Yasu and Takumi being like aspects of each other, and like
Yeah,
Takumi's the darker
yeah.
side.
There's Zeus and Hades.
Yeah, but like Yasu, I mean, we'll see it later, but like Yasu actually explains to Hachi why not,
Yeah,
you
because
know.
like Hachi does need the explanation, but also Hachi doesn't understand that now's not the time. She's also like he's moving in urgency to protect his business. She's
Hmm.
moving in urgency because she doesn't get it.
Yeah,
And right now, Takumi doesn't actually have the bandwidth or time to explain it to her.
yeah,
Right now, he's got to jump into damage control. He
yeah.
has to,
Even though
right?
Yasu, Yasu still, oh no, it's not Yasu. It isn't Yasu that does it. I lie. Anyway,
It doesn't,
there.
but it also doesn't matter because, like, at this particular moment in time, there isn't time to sit down with Hachi and explain it to her. That's the point.
Hmm.
There isn't.
Someone else will do it though, so it's all good.
Yeah, you're right. It was somebody else. But yeah, so like, but this is like in this moment, now is not the fucking time, Hachi. It's just not.
I'm Hachi in this moment because I freak out when I don't understand things, and I kind of need things explained to me to feel not like the world is falling apart.
Yeah, that's fair. But like, is it also when it's something that does directly is your business, or when it's something that is someone else's business and they are currently in the emergency?
Uh, I don't think it's the last. The no, it's always when it revolves something with like me and mine, not
Okay. Okay. So like
like.
that's not the same then, right? Like in this moment, Hachi just needs to take a seat.
Hmm. But I get where I understand where she's coming from.
Right.
I
Yeah.
really
No,
do.
it's not like is she still moving in urgency when it's not her
Hmm.
business, technically, right? Like Hachi's role, if she was mature in this situation, would just be paying attention because she doesn't understand and knowing
Hmm.
that it's not the time for her,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like that would be the appropriate thing to do in this situation because like
Hmm.
this does all fall on Takumi's shoulders at this specific moment. In order to support Takumi, she should just like watch the news, take in the information, pay attention, and not need an explanation for herself because she like would know that she'll get it eventually.
Yeah. She's not old enough yet.
No,
Well, baby.
no, no, she's not mature enough, right? I
No.
would say that there are people of her age that would know to do that. Her
Hmm.
personality doesn't ordain outside of herself.
Mm-mm. Now she's mad though. She's got the mad, the mad tick above
Well,
her
yeah, she's
head.
taking in the outsiders. It says outsider.
Hmm. In mine it says "shut up." Dot dot dot.
Oh, see, like that's the thing is like in mine, he's like, since he calls her, he's like, I think like outsiders please, which outsiders please shut up. He's literally trying to be on the phone and she's still yelling, you know?
Oh yeah. All I'm hearing is the is the Slim Shady song.
Oh God.
Will the outsiders
Trailer
please
park
shut
social
up?
around the outside, around the
Yeah,
outside.
yeah. Exactly. Will the
Oh
outsider please
no.
shut up? Please.
Right?
Why? He turns away from her and he's like, "No, sorry, it's nothing." So where's Ren? He better not be with his lady. Oh, really? Then have somebody stand watch so he doesn't go outside. And Hachi's like taking off her apron now. And he's like, make sure he doesn't go see her. And she whaps him on the head
Yeah, she
with.
threw she threw the and she's allowed because he should not have snapped at her like that. He should have just like shooed her. That
Yeah.
but like we know Takumi's hot-headed and it has poor communication as well.
Mm-hmm. So she whaps him on the head. And now she's running away, but like little paw prints are
Yeah, it's little
following
paw
her.
prints.
And I almost think it's like because like Takumi's like watching her in his head. I think he's watching. He's thinking, "Oh, there goes the puppy.
Yep.
There, there she goes." And he's got like a sweat drop, like with the apron on his head, and he says, "No, I'll go over to the agency right now." And then there's a snap as Hachi's putting on her shoes, and he says, "Nana, where are you going?" And he's like holding her hand and looks like just mildly exasperated. And she
Well,
says,
yeah,
"I'm
because
going."
he also knew he shouldn't have yelled at her like that. Like, that's what
Y-
that is. That's literally what that is.
Yeah, he's sorry, I'm a war poodle.
Yep, exactly. I'm a war poodle and you're just a little Shih Tzu puppy.
Yeah, you're a puppy. I played too rough with you. I'm sorry.
Yep, exactly.
And then she's like, I'm going home to see how Nana's doing. I'm worried about her. And he says, please just stay out of this. And hmm. And then she shouts at him. She says, but she's my friend, Takumi. There's something really wrong with you as a person. And he just
In mine,
stops.
it says, please, he says, please just stay out of this and mind your own business. And she's like, this is my business. Takumi, I
Hmm.
really think you have a problem.
Now she mentions it.
Took you long enough.
Yeah, but he stops.
Yeah, he
And
actually looks pretty compassionate. I mean, like
yeah.
in this whole other like page, like when he walks up to her, like he does feel bad for snapping at her. You can tell by his body language that he does feel bad.
But
But he also
then,
said do damage control here because it is also about keeping her safe. And
yeah.
she doesn't know the biz to
But
know that.
yeah, she doesn't get, and also I think what she just said, I think she actually hurt him.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like,
called him out
yeah.
because he is controlling. But again, there like Trap Nest's success is also due to his controlling nature.
Mm-hmm. He pauses, and she kind of takes her hand back, and she's got like this, oh, I said a lot right
Yeah, because
there.
now he looks hurt in Takumi's way of looking hurt, which is
Mm-hmm.
also really hot and looking angry.
Right? This is true. How dare you look so good when you're sad? Ah. Oh, and then he says, if you really think that, then why are you marrying me? And she's got like the, and then she's like blushing, like, oh, I said too much. And he says, if the father's bad, the baby will grow up to be bad too. I'm the perfect example. Just having two parents isn't enough. She looks
Oh,
sad.
interesting, interesting. Okay, so mine says, if you really think that, then please don't force yourself to marry me. A father who's got problems won't yield a normal child. It's a perfect example. I'm a perfect example. Having a father doesn't mean that things will go different. Will doesn't mean that things will definitely turn out well. He
That's
mentions
interesting.
nothing about having two parents.
No,
He specifically mentions
his dad.
is that it's the projection of his father, and he doesn't want essentially. This is, I think, in his own Takumi way, or in any person's way, really, um,
Mm-hmm.
a way to state that they don't want to be like their father. They don't want their child to be treated the way that they were treated.
Mm-hmm.
And now
But
she looks
also,
bad.
it's just sad. But that's also sad too because there's like Takumi. Do you think you're your father? Is that therapist glasses? Do you think that you will be like your
Well,
dad?
I think that every father thinks that I mean every child is a reaction of their parents.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, right? That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Like we are a reaction from our parents' parenting,
True.
for better or worse. But
But
I think
some.
that Takumi honestly would make a good father if he was present.
Yeah, I think he is present though. That's just me
But
thinking.
considering,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, considering.
Yeah. But
I'm curious
he,
to know what else he says though in yours.
oh yeah,
Because
so
like these
he,
differences really do change the context.
mm-hmm. Well, the next thing he says to her is because he turned away from her, but then he turned back and he said, "If you're worried about being alone, you can go back to your parents' place and raise the baby. Don't worry, I'll pay
Oh,
child support."
okay, no. He says, if you're afraid you can't handle it, let your parents take care of the child. You don't have to worry. I'll be paying still.
Mm.
Yeah. Because like him saying if you're afraid you can't handle it, he also means him. If she can't handle loving him or handle being in a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Essentially,
definitely.
he's saying that with in this translation, how I'm personally taking it is he's yes mentioning the child. He's by communicating that though, he doesn't want her to be with him just because of the child. He does genuinely want to be with Hachi.
Yeah. But he turns away. He turns
Hmm.
fully away. He's walking away. Well, she's like more like sad, sad, like,
He's saying that though as he's already starting to turn away.
mm-hmm. He
Yeah.
says, "At any rate, with this scandal, I can't be around for a while, so just do whatever you want to do." And now she's all like blushing and looking down. And then we have a scene change.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like he essentially says in that part the same for me. He's like, I won't be coming here for a while. And I honestly think that the reason that he wouldn't be coming here for a while, which he's not communicating, is that it wouldn't be safe for him to, with her living there,
Yeah.
because then the mosquito crew are gonna start hanging out and find out where she's at. And that's not safe
Mm-hmm.
for her. But again, she doesn't understand the biz.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. A couple days ago where I was just like, Takumi, I know he's being reactionary right now, but I know he is concerned for
Yeah,
Hachi's safety. It's
very
not
much
coming
so.
across very
Yes,
well.
very much so, right? But he also like in this moment, he's in fight or flight mode and he's very much fight mode, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so like what is at the precipice? She really doesn't understand the responsibility that Takumi actually carries for everybody. She still doesn't get that because it's not just like the fame or being in the band or the music, which is already a lot on its own. It's not just the members of Trap Nest. It trickles
Mm-hmm.
down, right? It's not just making Gaia money and all of that. It's also all of the people. And I feel that Takumi would think about these things and consider these things. It's also the
Mm-hmm.
managers, it's also their families, it's also, you know what I mean? Like it's everybody who's involved in that production.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Takumi is the type of person that he does understand that capacity of responsibility on his shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the only one that really genuinely takes it on out of all the members of Trap Nest.
That's why he sleeps so good.
I mean, when he does sleep, think about it that way too.
Yeah. I think he sleeps anywhere he can catch it. Like,
Exactly. That's why he can like crash out and take a nap whenever.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we have scene change. It's June. She's yelling on the phone.
It's a yelling chapter.
I mean, June yells a lot. June yells to me.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that we should create a meter. So she's on the phone and she's like, "What? Nana? Your Takumi is the same as the one in Trap Nest?" She's yelling all of this. And Trap Nest is quoted, which I think is
Mm-hmm.
really funny.
From a trap nest.
Yeah, it's in quotes. And so she's in the car, like I this is not a cab. This is obviously a driver.
Mm-hmm.
But the car has a little like round light on the top.
It does.
So I don't
It,
know. But
and it's
that's not a cab driver. That is definitely a professional driver in his suit
mm-hmm.
with his shiny anime glasses. They're creepy. They're creepy.
The creepy glasses.
Um, and so I really just think rectangle frames. I think that's just the conclusion I've come to is I find rectangle frames creepy. Like that aren't like thick. If they're thick rimmed, then they're okay. Like they're not in my creepy realm. And it's not again, It's not that they're not okay. They do look good on some people. It's just every time that they're drawn in manga or anime, that's what they look like.
You
And
hear that, Nathan? It's your glasses.
a lot of times villains wear them.
They do.
Or
So,
guys that say really inappropriate things about underage girls,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh, those usually no. Yep.
Nope,
Yep.
yep.
No,
I was like,
oh, no, I was thinking
thank
about. No, I was thinking about like the type of just like okay, this one sometimes they don't have like the thing around it. It's just like the nose piece, and then there's no frame around it. Those are
yeah,
creepy too.
because those are rectangle pieces of glass.
Yep, rectangle pieces of glass. It's
See, we're
not
getting there.
okay.
We're breaking it down. We're breaking it down. Um, and so she responds, so she responds with no, it can't be.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but she looks like she's like crying.
Yeah,
Yeah, she is
she.
crying. She's got like a tissue. She's it's a sad Hachi moment, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so June is like, liar, hurry up and tell me the truth. And then Kyosuke's sitting on the floor because they're still in their pajamas. They have matching pajamas because they're a cute old they're a cute, adorable, cute old people. Um, and he's like leaning his arm on the bed and he's like, if it's true, then everything would make sense now. And so Hachi's crying, June is still talking. Why do you keep it a secret from me too? You're being a bit too protective. You're afraid that I would tell everyone. And
Oh,
so, right,
no,
right.
it's that one's good. In mine, June gets a little manipulative, so yours
Oh,
is
what did she
better.
say? What did she say?
She's like, "Why did you hide it from me? I thought we were friends."
Oh, see, your June sucks. I mean, I feel like Viz Media, them trying to translate it for an American audience changed the characters altogether. And I
Yep.
don't like it. Um, and so she's like, "What happened? Why are you crying?" And Hachi says, "Junko, the reason I'm marrying him isn't because of the baby." And June is like, "That I know." And then she's like, I really do love Takumi." And June is like, "I know that. Thank God you finally know who you really love." That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's so fair. Well, she does love Nobu though. Like
Yeah.
it's complicated, okay? It's complicated. Um,
Complicated.
and so Hachi's like, "Why? I'm supposed to be in love with Nobu." And June gets like a smirk on her face. Like we have the June eyebrows and eyes right now, okay? Where
Mm-hmm.
like, ugh. Um, Let me explain this to you. And she's like, "That's what I think. You think every man that treats you like a little princess is a good man." And Hachi's like, "No, it's not like that." And June is like, "I know that you feel like you've betrayed Nobu, but it's for the money and for the sake of the child, quote off quote, right?" And it's like, but see, it's quoted. So she's
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the excuse.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she's pointing out to Hachi that Hachi's not like she's felt Hachi feels like she's not allowed to admit that she loves Takumi because of Nobu.
Mm-hmm.
So she's using the money and the kid as an excuse. But in reality, she does love Nobu. Like she's pointing, or she does love Takumi. She does love Nobu too, but she loves them differently. But she does love Takumi.
Mm-hmm.
So Hachi's like now crying even more. And she's like, but isn't it easier to think like that? Why do I always fall in love with men like Takashi or Takumi who are self centered, selfish bastards? Because you're a self centered, selfish bastard. I'm sorry.
Like attracts like, my dear. I don't know what to tell
Oh,
you.
I know, right? And so now, like, I assume that Kyosuke can hear the conversation based on the look on his face.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so.
right? I think the volume's up really loud. I don't know why he
Mhm.
doesn't just put her on speaker at that point because he's got a bunch of dots and he's got like the little blushy lines under his cheek and the sweat bead and his eyebrows are furrowed. And so now, like, June looks like she just made a huge sigh.
Mhm.
And she's like, how should I know? And she's thinking to herself, so that's how much she loved Takashi. Like, she just realized that she actually did love Takashi.
Mhm.
And Takashi is Mr. Asano.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just, for clarification's sake. Um, and so now Hachi says, Shoji and Nobu both really cared about me. Why can't I learn to treasure them? Question mark. My life would have gone on peacefully if Shoji hadn't have found someone else. Then it would have been a happy ending. And now June looks like super like shocked and is like speechless, like so shocked, and she's thinking to herself, why is she thinking about Shoji again? And how would it be a happy ending? I thought she already forgot about him. So Hachi's still going, and she's like, if this keeps up, I'll never get happiness.
Hmm.
And so
And June is like, oh, she's like,
June
nope, nope.
June freaks out. Like it's a big active, like there's so much going on. And she passes off the phone to Kyosuke. And then it says note. Takachi was one of Hachi's ex-lovers back when she was in third year of high school, volume one. It's just, there's your citation. Um, and so like Kyosuke's cigarette's like falling, he's like shocked. He's like, there's like a big huh next to him, and his cigarette like flew out of his mouth. And so he's holding the phone and like he just like it's a big squiggle and June is like over his shoulder just like patting him and like shooing the phone away like your turn, your turn. And above her it says help me out here. Say something nice to her, anything. And Kyosuke's like, "Hey, Nana?" And he says since Trap Nest quote in quotes, Trap Nest is in quotes again because they don't know if it's Trap Nest, Trap Nest.
Right.
That's why it's in quotes.
Right, since it's trap nest.
Lab nest, right, exactly. Is in big trouble. I'm guessing your wedding will have to be delayed then? Question mark. And then she starts crying even more, and she's like wailing, like she's just like losing her shit. So drink like a whole gallon of water.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
she's just
it's been a while. We're dehydrated. We need to hydrate. She hasn't had a full on meltdown in a bit. Um,
she's very upset.
And so then, like, he's freaking out. June's freaking out. Like, their faces, like, all the
She's
lines, all the lines. The only
she's
thing,
screaming.
right? The only thing on their faces are open mouths, giant eyes, and eyebrows, and like lines. All the lines. And it says, Takumi, that idiot bastard. And so now, like, and the phone is being held away. So he puts the phone back and he's like, you should just come to our house right now. We'll listen to all your worries. And like June's in the back and it's like, what about school? And she's like, what? And so like the driver is now like, excuse right? She's in the back like shaking.
Mhm.
Like there's little like marks. Like she's shaking and she's like, "No, I'm fine. The most important thing I want to do right now is see Nana. I can't stand it anymore. Just writing a letter is not enough. So I want to go apologize to her face to face. I'm on my way to see her right now." And Takumi's like, "No. Her house?" And June is thinking to herself while she's got like big tear lines, like the emojis. It says,
Mhm.
just a short while of rest. Nana is still Nana. So she's trying to like rest. And
Yes.
so, right? Kyosuke's like, "No, I suggest you don't go now." And Hachi's like, "Why?"
Okay, here it comes. He's going
It
to
pans
explain the
to the
thing that,
TV.
like, Takumi did not explain earlier.
Right, yeah, because
Kyosuke is about to.
Kumi's in full survival mode right now. And also, Hachi just unintentionally broke his heart. So, like, that's just leave Takumi in his corner. Baby can be in the corner for the moment. Um,
It's up
so
to
Pans,
Dad Kyosuke.
right? It's up to Dad Kyosuke to take the reins. Uh, Daddy Kyosuke, get on it. So,
It takes a village.
right, it takes a village. It does. It takes a village to raise a Hachi. Um,
It's true.
it's
So
true.
true.
That might have to be the episode title. It takes a village to raise a Hachi.
That was a good one. Yay.
That's a good one. Um, so it pans to the TV. Channel 7 is still on. Well, they have it on. Um,
Hmm.
and the anchor is outside the apartment and is like, "We're live here in front of lead singer Nana's house." And
Mm.
he's like, "The news reporters are already there." And June is like, "What?" And like wakes up essentially.
Yep.
I knew it. And so then we have a scene change and we're in apartment 707. She's
Yeah.
still crying, by the way. It's like focus on her face and then the apartment
And there's a
and the
ding
doorbell.
dong.
Yeah.
Two ding dongs. And
Ding
we
dong, ding
see
dong.
ding dong ding dong. And Nana is in bed. She's sleeping and she gets up and she looks at her clock and it's, oh God, time
8:45.
8:45. And then she's like,
No,
oh,
it's 7. It's 7:45. It's
7
7:45. Yeah, because yeah,
7:45.
it's time.
Time clock. And she's like, oh, and then she's like, damn, work, I'm late. And there's another ding dong. And she's getting dressed. And then she's like, who's ringing my bell this damn early? And then she's like, hold on, who is it? And on the other side of the door, they say, we're here from Search. And she says, what? I don't take solicitors. And the
Oh, and
disembodied.
mine it says search people, and she's like, "Huh? Who said you can search my house?" So
she's like,
good. That's
she's like,
so good.
damn, it's the
Right?
police.
Right? Search people. Who says you can search my house?
She just woke up. Uh, and then there's this voice just says, "You're Nana Osaki, right?" And she stops and she looks over at the door. And then we get a shot of these two dudes on the other side of the door. We can't see their faces, but they've got like
Nope.
cameras and
Yeah,
microphones and shit.
mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
Mhm.
And it says, I'd like to ask you about your relationship with Mr. Ren Hanjo. And then we cut back to Yosuke and June's apartment. So June is yelling, and she's back at the apartment. She's like, I can understand them going to Ren's place, but what are they? Why are they stalking the guru's place too? She's not
Guru,
even a
the
celebrity yet.
guru.
The guru. Yes. And
She says
Yosuke.
she's not called a guru of mine. They're like, how come Nana's house is on TV? She is still just a regular human being.
She's still just a regular human being, nothing to see here.
Let's see here.
But because June is like yelling, Kyosuke has to like plug his ear while he's still talking to Nana, Nanahachi. And he's saying, it's a cool old building with the surroundings in the shot. People will figure out where it is. They keep showing the live footage from their show. It's weird. And June's still yelling, and she's like, she should definitely sue them. What about Yasu? Isn't he a lawyer? Do something. Everybody's yelling. And
Everybody's
then
yelling.
yeah, Kyosuke just says, he goes, so Nana, it's not looking good. They might have figured out that Nana had a roommate. The paparazzi might corner you. You better not go over there. And she says, but Nana, and Daddy Kyosuke says, I know you want to see her, but be logical. You shouldn't let the media find out who you are. Think what'd happen if they found out about you and Takumi. You never know how it'd play out in the media, what it'd do to Takumi, and how hard it might be on you and the baby. And then she's thinking now, and she's thinking about when he said, please just stay out of this. This is pretty much what he was trying to tell her.
Exactly. But you also have to remember, like, in that moment, who would have the time to do what Kyosuke is doing?
Mm,
Right? Like, honestly.
yeah.
Like,
No
really.
time.
Yes, if he would have taken that time, then we wouldn't be in this situation right now.
Mhm.
But there's also that balance of when someone is in fight mode, flight or fight, whatever, when they're in that mode, they don't have the capacity, bandwidth, or even think that they need to sit down and coddle someone,
Mhm.
right? Like honestly, who would be capable of doing that?
I don't know. Listeners, if you're someone that has done this, let
Yeah,
us know in the
I highly
comments.
doubt it. I highly doubt it. How about I scare you and then you try to coddle Hachi, right?
Mhm.
And in mine, it's like a little bit different of language because he says, if they find out about you and Takumi, then what? If you rush in recklessly, Takumi might get in trouble also, and then you and your baby can't have a peaceful, normal life anymore,
Mhm.
right? Like,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
so
that's
many
what, and
things.
Takumi is like, again, like I was explaining, Takumi is thinking about everybody.
Yep.
And like if you're thinking about that many people in your head, do you really have in a high stress moment the patience or capacity to like walk someone through explaining a world that they actually don't have any reference to, right? So Takumi's
Yeah.
doing God's work right now. Or not Takumi,
Yeah.
but Kyosuke. Kyosuke is doing
Kyosuke.
God's work now. Yeah.
Yeah. So he said, Kyosuke goes on to say, says, Nana will be okay. She's mature and she has her bandmates. I'm more worried about you. Don't go. And I'm like, oh, Kyosuke. And then, Hachi's like sad, but is like, it's kind of like the okay face.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'll come over to your guys' place instead. And
Hmm.
and now we're back. Knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock. It says Osaki Nana-san. And then in think boxes, it's search question mark. Does he mean the search magazine then? Like it's clicking for her. The pieces are coming
Right.
together. And then
We
they
don't want
say,
to search
please
your
come out.
apartment.
Right. So you can search my apartment. It says, please come out and explain a few things to us. And now she's like
Mm.
shocked, frozen, petrified. Right. And it says, um,
Mm-hmm.
letting a rotten gossip magazine like search find out about us. And I don't know how the article will turn out. And then, damn it. And then it says, they're saying to her, we already saw the TV special. And now, like, she's got a sweat bead. And now she just looks kind of scared, like a little girl. Like, she looks like little, you know? And they go on
Mm-hmm.
to say, if you don't come out and straighten things out, things might get even worse. And it says, explain, question mark?
Yeah, she looks so like nonplussed, just like
Right.
what?
Super lost, super confused. And then it says, don't you care?
Mm.
And then in the background it says, I don't know what the hell they're saying. Are they trying to force me? And then we pan to a TV and it's the lady anchor back again. And it says, now let's have another look at Blast live concert video. Their performance is really awesome, as expected from Ren's old band. Gaia Music Company will soon be releasing their new single. We're all looking forward to it. And then it shows Nana again, and she looks really pretty. And
Mm-hmm.
it's Nobu and Shin, and they're just sitting there, little small little guys, just little small little guys. I feel like they're also sitting in the dark. Like they
Oh.
haven't even moved from waking up to turn on lights. Like the TV is
Mm-hmm.
just on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Shin says, Nobu, don't you think this TV special is a bit weird? And and it shows the TV of them performing, and it's like using Ren's fame to help sell us. And then there's a ding dong, and they both look at the door, and it says Nobu, Shin, and it's being yelled. And there's a pack pack. The sound effect of the knocking is pack pack.
Just like the lighter is.
Right? It says pack pack, PAC, PAC, pack pack. Um, and then it says Kawano-san. That's what Shin says, and it's the manager. And it says, I called your cell phones, but you two didn't pick up. It really got me worried. And and then it says, are you guys here? And Nobu goes, oh, sorry. people, oh, that was before. I don't know why I broke up those cells weird because the lines are weird. That's why. And Nobu was like, "Oh, sorry. People kept calling us, so we turned off our cell phones." And manager man says, "Have you two seen the TV special?" And Nobu says, "Yeah, we've seen it." And the manager guy is like, "Oh, good then. My car's outside. Pack your stuff and come with me." See, this is also like an emergency. They have to like evacuate.
Mm-hmm.
Very 9/11,
Very 9/11. Yeah.
right? Um, and shit is like, "Huh? Pack up our stuff?" And he's like, "Until the gossip fades out, you guys will have to live in a hotel for a while. Hurry, the reporters might already be outside." And Nobu's like, "Wait a minute. Just what exactly is happening? How come we're having to release all of a sudden?" And Koano says, "I'll tell you in the car. Please hurry up." Shin is like, "Koano-san, where's Nana?" And he says, "Yasu will be taking care of her. He should be calm enough to handle it. Don't worry." Yeah, because Yasu's a fucking king. Um,
I'm just like
and
calm. Well,
Uh,
anyway.
right? And Nobu's like, "Don't worry. The rumors are going." Geez, my phone or my computer, I'm getting alerts. Um, he says, yeah, Nobu says, "Don't worry. The rumors are getting out of hand. Nana won't be able to sing anymore like this." And he's like, "Or maybe this is something that Gaia has been planning all along. That video's the same one we gave in to Gaia." And he's like yelling at him.
Mm-hmm.
He's mad. Nobu's angry.
Mm-hmm.
And so now manager man looks like actually concerned. He does. He looks concerned. And he's like, "No. That tape has been sent to a lot of departments also, right?" And Nobu's like, "I'm sorry, Kawana-san, but I can't just take your word for it now. Simply said, everything I feel anymore." Poor Nobu. And then it pans
Mm.
to him like remembering Nana. Or no, Shin is remembering Nana. And when Nana like was at the train station and asked Shin, "How is Nobu?" And now Shin
Mm-hmm.
is like looking down and it says, "Actually, this morning both Yasu and I received a mysterious call on our cell phones from an unknown number telling us to watch Morning 7." And Shin looked over at him and Nobu is like desperately like he's like holding his coat and he's yelling, "Was it a call to blackmail or ask for ransom?" That would be scary. And Shin is like just dot dot dots above his head. Shin is like so calm, but he's like, "This is like nothing." He's like, "This is
Mm.
nothing." Like whatever. Um and Nobu's like, "I've never had trauma ever."
Yes.
Um Kawana says like, "I don't know who is behind all of this or what their motive is, but it's obvious that they wanted you guys to be the new hot topic of the music industry."
Hot topic.
Hot topic. And Nobu is like, "Except for Gaia, who else would do this? If we become the hot topic, the only one that would benefit from it is Gaia." And then Shin says, "Nobu, you're too kind and naive. Don't you think it could be possible that their motive isn't to make us famous, but to crush us instead?" And Nobu turns and yells, "What?" And Shin is lighting a cigarette, calmly looking down. And he's like, "Anyone who saw that special would have felt a bit weird." And now Kawana-san is also looking down because Shin fucking gets it.
Mm-hmm.
We have a scene change, and it's the mosquitoes. Pasha, pasha.
They're going in mind. They're like click, click,
Yep,
and one
this
of
pasha.
Pshaw. And one of them says, "You're a member of Blackstone's, right? Did you see 7 in the morning?" And another one says, "Is it true that Nana put that padlock on Ren?" And another one says, "How do you feel when Trapnest stole Ren away from your band?" And then there's these looky-loos in the back, and they're like, "What? Look, Ren's girlfriend's bandmate." And there's blah, blah, and more looky-loos like, "We're on TV. Really? It's live." And here's the what is it? It's Mr. Mosquito's sidekick, looking all smug and shit back here.
Dr. Mosquito and Mosquito Boy.
mosquito boys back here, and then there's another one that's yelling like, "Have you finished recording the album yet? When will you drop the single?" And then this motherfucker, our mosquito boy, yells out, "Do you think Nana sold this scoop herself as a publicity stunt to profit from Trapnest's popularity?" And Yasu stops and turns around, and he is mad.
I mean, Yasu, I will take Yasu in any form he shows up.
That's fair.
Yeah.
He's so mad. Well, I don't blame him, but he just stops.
But like all he
And
has to do is like look at them
uh-huh.
and there's
And
silence.
and they're scared. Like, look at this guy. Like, there's just this buzz, and all of the paparazzis have
They
like all
don't
the
know.
weapons.
They don't know like how to accept Yasu. Um
He's a stone cold
like
baddie.
all he has to do is like look at them and they all
Hmm.
freeze. I
Yep.
love it. I love it. I live for it.
They're like, and this is like, oh yeah, he's a force to be reckoned with. How dare you? And I'm interested if it's different in yours. It probably is, but Yasu just coolly, casually, he just says, "You scumbags. If you've got the
Oh.
time to trample on other people's gardens, then why don't you make your own flowers bloom?"
Oh. Okay. Yeah, mine's slightly different. It's still a flower analogy, which I think is really funny because, Hachi's Garden of Boys. But he says, "Hey, you people, since you have so much free time to nose around in other people's gardens, you should really check to see if flowers are sprouting from your head."
Oh, that's why the next picture. Okay.
Uh-huh, that's why they have all the little flowers.
Yeah, this because he slams the door in their face and they all
Yeah,
have the dot
and
dots,
it
but they
goes
all have
and it goes pap.
flowers. They have all the flowers on their head, and then the guy, he like turns around, he's got a sweat drop, and he's like, "Well, that's it for now." That was live from Ren's girlfriend's. Oh my god, that was live from Ren's girlfriend Nana's apartment building.
Okay, mine says, "Reporting back from in front of Ren's secret lover Nana's home."
That's way easier
And
to
this says
say.
wide 8. So this channel is different.
Yeah, mine says white 8 too. It's not
And then
7 anymore. It's
it's
moved
not
on to
7
8.
anymore. We've moved on to 8. We're moving on up in the saga. And then we have Rira and
Yucky.
Yoki like sitting like little children with like their little feet up, watching the TV with little flowers on top of their head. And they're both like just like confused. They have the confused face, and like both of their little like bubbles are together with just dots.
Really?
Like,
Because in
well,
wait, in
because I
my
think,
head, they look
huh?
odd. They look odd to me.
They
Like,
do. They look, no, they're confused. They're just like, but there's like, it's like their flowers are also lit up. But I think it's funny because like they feel like Yasu was talking to them because I
yep,
think that's what that is.
yep.
He got to them too, and then like Takumi is in the background and it says Baka above his head,
Yep.
right? And he's just like looking at them and he's thinking to himself, "Ah, they're watching it like a soap opera."
Oh, that is not what he says in mine, but I also like that he doesn't have a flower on his head. Like, he's like,
Right, he doesn't because Yasu can't get to him.
nope.
What does it say in yours?
Well, he says, "Uh-oh, now the press will hate him, idiot."
Oh, no, yeah, he's referencing the two of them because they're just so like entrenched.
Yeah, yeah, because
That
Yasu
makes
said it.
more sense. It makes more sense.
It does, but Yasu said a very cool thing. Like, that was so
Right,
cool.
right, right. Um, yeah, exactly. So then it's the two of them, and like Hachi drew their eyes, okay? Like,
Right.
and they're like so freaking cool.
Yeah.
And so
Reba's
now
got
they're
hearts.
freaking out like children. Takumi falls over. Papers fly in the air. His cigarette's flying in the air. The manager and the assistants in the background are just like confused. And then the two of them are like, "Yasu is so cool. I'm sorry I called you Baldy." Like, I mean, well, like Rira, when she says Yasu's so cool, it's a little heart, and then Naoki, it's just like a little squiggle because he called him Baldy, and then it says I love you, and then Naoki's like, I want to be just like Yasu, but definitely don't want to be bald. What? What should I do? They're having like tantrums,
They are also freak out crying, so drink some water. They're like happy, like,
right? They're no, I don't even know if they're happy. Like they're just like having they're having full on child meltdowns, and that's why Takumi felt like what the fuck because they're idolizing Yasu, and here's Takumi, and he's like not again. Um, and so now he's like Takumi's like rubbing the back of his head, and he's obviously sitting on the ground, and there's just a big squiggle, and he's got a sweat bead. And Naoki's like, "Wow, Ren must be really popular." Every every wide show channel is talking about them now. And Rira's like, "What's so bad about that? That means there's no war, world peace."
meanwhile, in America,
Meanwhile, in the real world, meanwhile, outside of the Yazuaverse, war has begun.
war has started.
Oh
Thank
my
you,
god.
Rira, for hoping for the best. I appreciate and love
I
you.
appreciate it. I wish I lived in the Yazuaverse.
Same.
Um, and so Naoki's like, but this made me feel a bit awkward. Ah, see, there it is. And he's like, they should be
Mhm.
focusing on Ren's love life, but it seems like they're trying to talk about Blast more, even it more instead, even more than about us. And Rira's like, oh, Naoki, didn't think you'd see it that way. And he's like, no, no, that's not what I meant. Everything's good as long as we're part of the hot topic too. And then it said dot dot dot. And like this also goes back like the way that Takumi is drawn is in front of the panels.
Mhm.
So his stress is based on all of their conversation right now. Because they're not putting the pieces together. Because again, Takumi's like 20 steps ahead, right?
Mhm.
So now Naoki goes over to Takumi and he's behind him and he's holding him by the shoulders and he's like, Takumi, let's hold a press conference. Like let Ren explain everything to them. For example, he could tell them to stop bullying my woman. Also, I can't let I can't let him say that. That's what Takumi says. And he's like, are you kidding? How could I let him go to those boring interviews? And so then there's Rira and she's holding up Shin's like necklace and like looking at it. And she's like, if we let it be, Blast might get all of the attention. And Takumi's like, it doesn't matter. I'd rather it be like that. We don't need to do anything. We're using our real talents. All I care about is that our CD will sell well in stores. And Rira like glances over at him, and Rira actually looks really mature when she's saying this. So this is, I think that's important. Um,
Mhm.
like she's drawn very maturely, like
Yeah.
adult like, and she's like, "What strong self-confidence you've got. I hope you're not thinking that you're the best in the world." Hee hee. And then like Takumi looks very smug and glances over at her and is like, "Of course not. But I do think that you're the best singer in the world." And Rira is like beet red, shocked, and
Naoki, his face.
Naoki, Naoki's face is like shocked and he's got little blush circles. And Rira now looks away and she's like, "Don't give me so much pressure."
Yeah, so in my so he said in
Yeah.
yours like this it's her singing. That's what he said, right? Like like you're
Yeah. Yeah,
singing.
you're the best singer in the world. He thinks that she's the best singer in the world.
Ah. So in mine he doesn't say anything about her singing. He's just
What?
like, yeah, she's just like, don't you she's like, well, well, aren't you confident? Don't you just think you're the best thing in the whole world? And he says, no, I don't, but I think you're the best thing in the whole world. Which I'm like, hmm.
Oh, yeah, because like she does say, "I hope you're not thinking that you're the best in the world." Hee hee. And he's like, "Of
Yeah.
course not, but I do think you're the best singer in the world."
Yeah, I think it's interesting to omit the singer part because it puts a
It
different.
changes it.
Mhm.
It changes it, and it also changes why he has the expression he has.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Like Viz is setting it up for this is why I'm excited to get to that particular point in the story so that
Mm-hmm.
these differences because even this is shaping a different narrative and perspective of what happens later,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so she's like, don't give me so much pressure. And then it says, I hate you. And Naoki's just kind of chuckling. And Takumi is just back there, like with his paper and his coffee. And it says, hey, give me another cup of coffee. And then the assistant in the back is like, yes. And then there's a knock, knock, knock on the door.
Yeah. And because we're still here in this hell.
Apartment 7,
Eh,
we're back to apartment 707.
Yep. And they're like, these guys are like, Nana. And she's thinking, this is the worst thing ever. And then they say, rumor has it that this is all a publicity stunt. What do you have to say about that? And she thinks, I never wanted to become a household name as Ren's stupid girlfriend. And the guys say, if you talk to me, I'll write a follow up article explaining your side of the story. And she's thinking, they don't stop, do they? And they knock again and they say, Nana. And she says, don't say my name like you know me, but she's thinking it. And there's another knock knock and she's thinking, I'm finished. Vampires like you ruin everything. And now here comes Yasu. And this guy turns around and he says, hey, you're Blackstones. And Yasu says, don't start with me. Get out of here. Anana's eyes are really big because she heard Yasu. And Yasu's grabbed this guy by the shirt and he says, what? We're just giving you the opportunity to clear your name. And it's like, they're not like criminals, guys. It's not like they stole a bunch of money or murdered somebody.
Yeah, but rumors are rumors and they're famous, right? So they're
True.
doing whatever they can to get the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yasu, grabbing them
Yeah,
by the shirt.
grabbing him by the shirt. And then there's a wham as he hits the guy in the face. Um, and then there's a thud, and Nana hears it, and she's kind of like, she looks up, and then this guy is on the ground just looking at Yasu like, holy shit, that guy just hit me really hard. And I don't think it was with the hand that has like the ring on it, but I kind of hope that it was, but I know that it wasn't.
I think maybe. Oh no. Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, he has a thumb ring on the hand that he punched with.
True.
Not a knuckle. The other hand that's clenched that we're seeing. That's the other. That's his left hand. He punched him with his right hand. That's pow
Mm-hmm.
pow pow. Yeah. So no, but he still got bloodied a
Yep.
little bit
Because
because Yasu
Yasu,
punches hard.
he punches hard. And he says, don't treat us like idiots. Don't you ever go near our singer again.
Oh, okay. So he says, don't assume that I'll be nice to you. Don't bother our lead singer.
Yeah, don't assume he'll
So,
be
like,
nice to you.
I like that better. Don't assume I'll be nice to you.
Yeah.
Because he talks nothing about their treatment or what they're doing,
Mm,
you know?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't like, see, in my mind, Yasu doesn't actually insult people,
Mm, mm-hmm.
right? Like, it doesn't make sense for him to call someone an idiot. I don't see
Well,
Yasu calling people idiots, like, ever.
that's fair. But
I don't think
yeah,
he also use a name caller. I don't think I think that he's intelligent enough to not have to call people names.
true. Just punch him in the face.
But let me just
That's
keep building that Yasu pedestal.
when Nana looks like, oh no, face, and then this guy, the guy he punched, like gets up and he's like, you better believe I'm going to write about this too. If you don't want to cause trouble for your boss at the law firm, you better start writing your letter of resignation.
Interesting. Mine says I'll definitely put this in the article. If you don't want your lawyer to get in trouble, then you should come out and explain things. So
Mm.
he threatens Nana, not Yasu.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Just not good. Not which Nana's now hanging. She's got her head in her hand.
Yeah,
And I'm
she's
just
like
like,
by the
oh.
she's actually near the door now. She's not hiding anymore.
Mm-hmm. And there's a one knock, and Yasu says Nana, and there's a click as she opens the door. There's a creak, And then a slam as Yasu comes in and he says, "Are you all right?" And she smacks him on the head and he says, "Huh? Ow,
He says that hurts.
that hurts." Yeah, because and then now she's crying, just like
Yeah,
angry crying,
she's angry crying.
angry crying. And she says, "You idiot! What the hell are you doing? Think about your career, Baldy." And, and now he's got like a little like band-aid on his head where she hit him.
Yeah, and he's like patting her on the head.
Uh-huh. And he's like, "Nah, I'm just their grunt. So if I get canned, no one will really care." And she's got him by the tie, and he's like, "Don't cry. Come on." And she's like, "You're gonna get into a lot of trouble. No one's going to hire a lawyer who's been busted for assault. It's not worth wasting your future over." And he says, "I'll be fine. I guess now I can gamble all I want." And Nana's thinking to herself, "This guy's a fool. We're a band of fools." And there's
Wait, he
this.
says no. That is not what he says. But I mean, like, I guess, like, okay, in that context, if we're thinking about it, when he says gambling, he's talking about gambling his future, right?
Yes.
Okay, because in mine it says, don't worry. Like this, I can just focus on the band.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I don't like that they put gamble because I'm like, is he gonna go play craps on the weekends? Like,
Ah, I'm gonna spend all my money.
right? And then in mine, she says, you are so stupid. Everyone in our band is stupid. And then we have a scene change, and it's Nobu and Shin, and they're in a car, and Shin has a mirror out, and he's fiddling with his hair.
Yeah, they just woke up. He's fixing his hair,
Yeah,
making
but
it
like
fancy.
Shin is like so cool as a cucumber because he's like, you know what I mean? Like Shin just like goes with fate. Like he doesn't try to like. That's a big difference between Nobu and Shin. Nobu is constantly trying to fight fate, and Shin
Mm-hmm.
just like goes with what fate brings him.
Yeah, he's like, "Well,
Right?
it's here we are."
Yeah. I mean, in a way, they are also polar opposites, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Which aspect? I'm sorry. Now my brain's like, which god aspect? Is it Hermes? No, it's probably
no, I
Hermes.
mean, like, I actually think that they would be dummies,
Oh.
like Hercules and Heracles.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because they're younger, so I would end up putting them in a different tier.
Cool.
Personally. Um, it says even after Nobu got kicked out by his parents and abandoned by Hachi, he still wouldn't give up his guitar. Shin is likely to go kill himself.
Oh, jeez.
God. Whoa. Um,
No.
if we don't keep our eyes on him and care for him. I'm pretty sure that Shin not only takes care of himself, but takes care of all of your emotional needs. Every
No,
single
true.
except for Yasu. Yasu doesn't need his emotional needs taken care of because I'm certain Yasu is a stoic. Um,
Yeah, I'm just like, Shin's not gonna. No, he's
but
not.
like out the fucking gate, Shin is likely to kill himself.
He's not, but okay.
Okay. Like maybe get abducted, but like,
Yeah, for real.
but I honestly think that Shin is even too smart to get trafficked, to be completely frank.
True.
Like
So true.
and so now Rira and Naoki are back in their spots on the couch and Takumi is like behind them. But yeah, they're back cuddled up on the love seat in front of the TV and it says, "As for me, if I don't sing, then I'll have no future." And this is Nana. And
Hmm.
then the TV is back on and it says, "We're live in front of Trap Nest guitarist Ren's house." And then on the TV above the news anchor, it says, "Blast, wanted to be famous. What does Ren really think?" And the news anchor goes on to say, he hasn't come out yet, but his producer already said that he had no comments, making it even more suspicious if Blackstone's Nana really spreading uh, rumors to aid their fame. And then there's a beep because he turns off the TV and it's Ren in his room. And it says Hanjo-san. And it's like the assistant dude, the one he see his glasses. see, his face is creepy and not his glasses, but his glasses are still skinny glasses,
Yeah. They're like
right? They're
ovals, not.
really skinny. They're really stretched out sideways ovals.
Hmm.
Um, and it says there's word from the agency. They want you to catch the afternoon flight to the UK. And Ren is like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "What?
Uh,
I'm a criminal now?" And he's like sitting on the bed with his little, holding onto his little feet. And it
yeah.
says,
In my
right?
in mine, he thinks he's getting deported.
Oh God, he can't get deported if he's in his country of origin.
I know it's weird, right? Like what?
Yeah,
What-
yeah, he can't get deported if he's in his country of origin. That doesn't really work that way. Um, and so it says, "Did I break the law? What did I do wrong? Shit, there were many things I did."
Oh no.
The assistant guy's like, "No, you're there for a photo shoot. It was supposed to be taken here, but since this happened, it got relocated. You'll be back in half a month, so take time off to relax. Everyone else and your bandmates will leave tomorrow, but Hanju-san and Takada-san will go first. I'll be driving you two to the airport." And Ren's like, "Okay, I'll go get ready now. Just Takada and me, and that would be quite enough." And so the assistant kid is like, Hanjo-san, you sure you don't want to do anything about her? If you want to, I won't get in your way." And Ren like compassionately looks over at him. And this is the kid though who Ren had to check. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Like he
Yep.
had to check him for talking shit about Takumi. So they do
Yeah.
have like a kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Yep.
actually think that this kid is like, when we talked about like Hachi being like a trap, like she's a Takumi fan. I think
Hmm.
this Ken is
Is
just
a Ren fan.
yeah, he's
He's
just
a
a Ren
huge
fan.
Ren fan. Yeah, he's a huge Ren fan. And so like but like Ren compassionately like looks at him. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
just like understand like he's like essentially like the way that I read his face in this drawing is that he's like saying thank you with his eyes.
Yeah, he's
You
like,
know?
ah, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, "No, my girl's got lots of self-esteem." No, she doesn't, you fucking idiot. And he's like, "If I stand," right?
Yeah, that's a front she wears. Like,
Right?
what?
He knows that like, yeah, she's tough. Yeah, she'll take care of herself, but she's like she's really broken inside. But so is he.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's ego. He's confusing self-esteem with ego. Um and he's like, "If I stand in front of everyone and protect her, she won't be happy about it." Now that's true. Um
Mm-hmm.
and then it says off to the side, which totally sucks because he does want to protect her. We know that though.
Mm-hmm.
And so the kid is like, "What? No way. Why do you always listen and do what the agency tells you to do?" Ah, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
And Ren like looks at him. He's like, "Of course not. She's a really tough woman. Now, what are you thinking?" And then the kid is like blushing and shocked, and he's like, "This suddenly relocation and schedule change must be Takumi-san's doing. Hanjo-san, you should follow your heart, or follow your heart tells you to what your heart tells you to do." And so he's like, "Kinoshita, I think you misunderstood. We're not fooling around with our music. Trap Nest is not a Takumi one-man show. It's backed up by many people, manager, company, music, etc. Manager, company, music company, etc. I can't just do anything I feel like or want to do. As for my band, you can say it's my fortune and also part of my body. What I have to protect now isn't my old thrown away partner. My old thrown away partner? Isn't my old what? What I have to protect now isn't my old thrown away partner. I don't get that. That's weird. And then we have the mosquitoes, they're back. Shop, shop, shop.
Yeah, and in mine he said, "What I have to protect now isn't my old friends or past bandmates."
Oh, okay. That okay.
Is
There we go.
better than whatever
Yeah,
that.
my
Yeah.
old thrown away partner. So like, yeah, that's like I don't know that yeah, bad translation on that part.
That's weird, yeah. But yeah, here's a paparazzi, and one of them's yelling, "Nana, please make a comment. When Ren got picked up by Trapness, did you tell him off and break up with him? Nana, did you get back with Ren to use him for his fame and fortune?" Because her and Yasu are like walking out of the apartment. And another one says, Ren refuses to comment. What do you think about that? Are you happy that you're getting publicity as planned? And she's thinking, what idiots. And she looks really cool here, her and Yasu like walking out, like she's just, you know,
Yeah,
stoic, cigarette in hand,
right. Not
looking.
even like she's looking down. He's
Hmm.
obviously got his sunglasses on because we never see Yasu's eyes.
We do sometimes, but, you know,
It's so infrequent, it doesn't count.
fair. And they're like,
Hmm.
say something.
And
And she's,
in mine, it says, "This is so annoying."
I mean, it is annoying. Like,
I don't have to say anything. Ren understands how I feel. I also understand how Ren feels. We don't need you people to clarify anything.
mm.
But she's
But
not
then
saying that out loud.
no, no, she's thinking that. And then she's thinking about Hachi when they were
Yep.
like having like
When they had their
lunch.
picnic at the
Hmm.
river.
Yeah, and she's like, but now there is something I have to say to get through.
And mine it says, "But there is something I need and want to say out loud."
Hmm.
Yep, here we go.
And he's like, this guy's like, one comment. And she's thinking, I won't let you scumbags ruin it. And she snatches
That's so
the
funny. He says,
microphone.
"Please say something." And then she thinks, "How can I get revenge on these reporters for ruining me?" And so she takes the microphone.
She takes the microphone and then she's gonna do a thing. And then
And now
again,
she's on TV.
they're like frozen now because they're like, "Bleh." She just,
Yeah, they're all like shocked because she's
uh-huh,
actually going to talk.
uh-huh.
And she's beautiful,
And she's so pretty. And right? And now she's like, I imagine like she's taking like a cool drag off her cigarette
right? Taking her
and
time. She's taking
taking
her
her
time.
time. And then she says, just watch me, Hachiko. I'm going to make your dreams come true. And then Hachi's all big eyes. And it's thinking about the letter. You know, it says, I hope you appear on TV a lot so I can see you sing. And Nana, it goes fling as she tosses the microphone back to the reporter, and the other reporter in the background is just standing there with a big question mark
Big
over
question
their
mark.
head with a sweat drop. And Nana says, there, I said it. Now I'm done, heart. And Yasu says, that's good.
Well, like, but Yasu's pleased with her.
Right?
Like, he's actually all right with her saying that.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Yeah.
And then
And
here's a
then,
report.
yeah,
The
the
reporter
poor
is like
reporter.
so confused, sweat drop. And he's like, well, that's all, folks. Reporting live from the pad of the person in question, Nana. And back at June and Kyosuke's apartment.
It says, everyone, this is the interview. This is the interview we've made from Nana's house. Now back to the studio.
Well, like, what do you do at that point? You know, when
And Nana is sparkly.
she's so sparkly, and Kyosuke and June are just like sweat drops. Duh, just
They're
one
just
thought
shocked. Like
bubble of
they're
what.
dumbfounded. Yeah.
And Hachi's like happy crying. And now there's like thinky stuff that says, hey Hachi, and Kyosuke says, no one knew what to think. And the next special is a fearless Nana and the mysterious message to her pet dog. At least things are getting sidetracked.
Right, because she did say Hachi, right? And so
She
like
did.
that. So she's talking to like a mysterious dog. Um
And Hachi has like puppy ears and sparkles and a little tail that's going wag wag behind
uh-huh.
her as she's crying. And
June is laughing
June,
hysterically.
she's just
Um
dying. She's like, oh my god, she really is fearless. Everyone must think Hachi's a dog.
in mine it's Invincible. The title is Invincible, Nana's secret message to Hachi Doggy.
Hachi doggy.
Yeah.
Wow, what a title. And
Yeah.
the last page is like Tokyo, just a shot of Tokyo, and it says from that day on, I could stand tall no matter how many times I got struck down because I knew you were always watching me. And now we see the expose, the picture of her and Ren in the rain, with Nana laughing, and it says Ren Hanjo, the sordid past of the beautiful woman who stole the rock and roll hero's heart.
My God, that's intense. Mine says Rock World Prince's Dark History with Beautiful Punk Babe.
Ooh.
Very different. Very different.
Yep. Yours is all like sultry.
Right? Yours is like just intense.
Yeah.
Like it's super intense.
Right. It sells. That's the
Um,
end of the chapter.
that's the end of the chapter. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being
In the Dramaverse. We appreciate you.
So find us on the internet, guys.
Find us
Um,
on the internet. We're on things.
we're on Apartment 707 Instagram. We have a link tree. It's got all of our stuff.
I'm
Um,
trying to be more active now that I'm getting used to like working and being at school. Uh retrograde season was hard. I feel like I'm still like kind of hungover from it. And we still have planets in retrograde. So
no, I feel the same way. I feel like I'm not quite
I feel
done
like I'm in a
being.
retrograde hangover.
See, yeah, I feel like I was in a boxing ring and
We had COVID.
I had COVID, so
So
there
that
is
doesn't
that.
help. I had the flu during retrograde.
Oh no. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yay.
Thanks for being here. I'm tired. I've had a
Same.
very erratic all over the place work schedule, which is fucked with everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can find us on the things. Like Crystal said, you can find us on the things. Go to Instagram apartment 707 underscore. I use the Tumblr.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
have a TikTok.
There's TikTok. I'm gonna try to figure out how to make the TikToks more interesting. I think I have a way to do it, but it requires all of my brain power.
I can also help you with TikTok. To show you how. I don't want to
That's
make them.
that's
Um,
fair.
yeah,
I
I don't even
mean,
want to make my own TikToks right now. So, um, but yeah, yeah, find us on the things. Thanks for being here
yep.
for the Oswaldverse digest portion, and
Yes.
also going through the chapters, and also the inter. I don't all of the discussions that we hold here. Um, we have fun.
We
We
do.
know that nobody really listens to it, but maybe someday you will. And so, if you are listening to this, it is for you. You are
It is.
special. You are important. We do actually care, even if you have really dumb sentence structure. And feel free to comment. I won't correct your grammar. Um,
This
don't
time.
don't don't be a dick. And goodbye forever.
But
We've got comments. We have a
oh,
lot.
I'm
We don't have a ton. We
ready.
don't have a whole ton. This isn't that big of some digest. The first one says I love Nana. And then somebody replied to them and says girl boss for real.
Yep.
Leah is back and says methinks that Nana is the best character. Huh? Did you miss all of Yasu?
Kirsten's a Yasu stan, guys. It's just.
I mean, he was like cool as a cucumber the whole time, non-problematic.
I mean, he did hit that guy in the face. I don't know if that's
Ah,
cool. I mean,
he
it is
deserved it.
cool. No, no, he totally deserved it. Like, I'm glad he did. I'm so happy he did. But I'm like,
I did not think that was a problematic punch.
no, no, good punch, well deserved. Yes, but some people might be like, okay, like hitting somebody is like
They don't count.
fair.
Yeah. I mean, like, also granted though, if you're referencing like this last part of like Nana being like, watch me, I'm gonna make all of your wishes come true,
Probably.
right? Because like the
Hmm.
wish goes back to the tree.
Yes.
Like it all like that their wishes are actually the wishes from the stupid tree are actually coming true
But they
because the
weren't
demon lord
specific.
willed it. Yeah, be more specific.
It's the moral of the
Painkiller
story.
Painkiller is back and says, "How come Hachi loves Takumi? Back when they were secretly seeing each other, she never felt jealous when thinking about him with other women. Neither did she talk or thought about him in the way she did Nobu, etc. So how did that feeling develop since every time they saw each other was worse and worse than the one before? When did she have the time to fall for him? It's not only that I don't like Takumi and And I understand we don't get to read Hachi's POV anymore, but all of this still feels like a plot hole. Yasuo-san. Yasuo-san.
Mm,
Okay. Do we want to read the responses before we unpack it, or do we want to read the responses after we unpack it?
goodness, I don't know, because I had like one big thing run through my head.
Yeah, what is it?
Um, is your basis of loving somebody based off of whether they get jealous of them being with
That
somebody
was with the
else?
first, yeah, with the first portion of it, that was the first, because there's a lot. This is why I'm like unpack, because like it is a lot of different things that
Yeah.
they're putting together into one thing, right?
Yeah.
And so like the idea of her loving him if he's with other people is its own thing. And so
Mm-hmm.
that comes from like the difference between essentially, monogamy versus polyamory,
Yeah.
right? And like assuming that everybody thinks monogamously when early on we discussed that like Hachi should be polyamorous
Mm-hmm.
just because of how she is. Now, would she always be polyamorous? No, maybe not. Maybe yes. Like it's just, Hachi is capable of loving a lot of different people in different ways, even if she's not aware of it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But we see that.
Yes.
Like she is fully capable of being in love with lots of people, and it doesn't always necessarily mean romantic love.
Mm-hmm.
And I also do think that she was in love with and could possibly at this point still be in love with Nobu, but it's a different kind of love than the in love she's with Takumi.
Yeah.
I also think she was always in love with Takumi, but first she started out in love with Takumi as not a real person.
Yeah. Same.
And then that evolved into him being a real person. And I think that part of their problems that they had and it getting worse and worse was her seeing that Takumi is a whole real life person and not just a famous person on a poster. And I think we
Yes.
actually see that moment very, very clearly when she takes down the poster of Trap Nest because he is no longer, I think that that is actually like an epitome to her seeing him as a real person that she knows and not a famous person she idolizes. Her
Mm-hmm.
separating the famous Takumi and her Takumi.
Yeah. The person Takumi.
The person Takumi, not
Mm-hmm.
the not Trapness Takumi, right?
Yeah.
Like it's Trapness Takumi and then there's Takumi Ichinos,
Yes.
right? And so there's that pivotal moment that I guess we really didn't touch on when she took the poster down, which we could have, but I didn't think about it. I just
No, but we were really focused on the you slept with someone who has a poster
right,
of
exactly,
you,
right, right. Then like
and then the
took it
walls
down.
was discolored and
Yeah,
she
the
had to
wall was
paint it.
discolored. That was way more important. The wall being discolored was more important than talking about, Takumi becoming Takumi Ichinos, like, for her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, like, I don't think she actually, because it's like, when did she have the time to fall for him? It was gradual because he
Yeah.
had to become a real person.
Mm-hmm. It's not a plot hole.
I think that she was always in love with Takumi.
Yep.
Always. I think that she was in love with the person Takumi when she met Takumi.
Yeah.
Like, actually. I think that the moment that she fell in love with Takumi was the tomato scene.
Yep.
Like, you know, it doesn't mean that people recognize it or that she recognized it,
Oh, she definitely didn't.
right? But yeah, so like it's its own type of love that developed.
Yeah.
Um, and like you're allowed not to like Takumi. We have mixed feelings about Takumi. Like it's impossible not to have mixed feelings about Takumi because Takumi is probably the most real character.
I mean, I've said it a million times. I like Takumi. I always have. I know he's problematic, but I like him as a character, and I will die on this hill. So,
I mean, like the thing is he is the best character. He has the best character development out of anybody
hmm
in the story, like hands down. Okay, there are times that I'm gonna hate Takumi, but that doesn't mean I don't like him as a character. There are times I'm gonna like Takumi, but it doesn't mean that I like him as a character. You know what I mean? Like it's a back and forth with Takumi because like Takumi's character stirs up so many things that are
hmm
very real.
yes.
I also think it's funny that this comment Hachiko disliked.
Interesting.
Hachiko's a Nobu stan. So like why are you disliking this comment? I don't understand.
Hachiko hates Nobu. Always calling him mid.
Oh, that's true. But he hates Takumi too. Oh, but I mean like I don't know. I feel like that doesn't make sense for you to dislike. I don't understand you, Hachiko. Did you
Just
comment?
trolls gonna troll.
Yeah, I mean like and like they Hachiko didn't write Nobu was mid because you can't on this because
Aha! You can't. What are like the replies below that comment?
So there's two replies. Um, the first one is Ash, who's also a regular commenter, right?
hmm
And it says, I believe she loves him because they have this deeper understanding. I also think that. They
hmm
don't judge each other. I also think that. They complement each other extremely well. I also think that.
hmm
Some love develops over time. Good job, Ash. Like, well summed up. I mean, that's much shorter than what we just said, but it's still what we said. Um, and then Angie also commented and said, read my comment, and that comes lower. Uh, so Nonchi says she's so cool. Kwan Aaron is back and says Hachi loves Takumi. Seriously? Question mark, question mark. I'm starting to dislike her.
Why?
Why? Because she chose someone that you wouldn't choose.
Yeah.
Like
Wow. It's
that's
like,
yeah, exactly. Hachiko, the troll, comments back. Let's see. Hachiko disliked Kwan Aaron's comment, by the way, and says she's a lesbian,
oh my God, here we go again.
right? And Leah coming back disliked it. So like there's that. Leah's comment this time was just like me thinks Nana is the best character. Nothing
hmm
like, I'm surprised like I don't know. I like it when Leah goes after Hachiko.
Same.
Um And so Angie's comment, which Angie had said, now what's funny is three people, including Strawberry, disliked Angie's comment to Painkiller saying, read my comment. So Angie's comment says, all right. So Hachi thinks she loves Takumi because in her wacko mind, she got a fairy tale guy. I don't actually think that. I don't
No.
think I don't think that Hachi believes that just based on their interaction when she's trying to leave, she no longer sees Takumi as Takumi from Trap Nest. She sees just that morning conversation. She sees Takumi as Takumi Ichinos, the father of her child, and the person that she plans on being with.
Yeah, I also don't like that. I'm gonna call it semi-gaslighting
Right. Yeah, it is.
verbiage. Like, oh, you only think that you
Thank
love him. Like,
right. Yeah,
she
you
said
can't.
it.
Right. Exactly. If it's different if the person says, I thought I loved them. And like
hmm
I even don't like it when people say I thought I loved them because
hmm
you're invalidating your own feelings trying to talk yourself out of the good feelings you did have to think that. Now were they a healthy kind of love? Maybe not. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you had sensational love feelings for another person. Um, you know?
Yeah, but small counterpoint to that because I do have, there is a very specific ex to my mind that I have said that about, but at the same time, like, I know that at the age bracket that I was and how little I had dated at the time, I
Yeah.
was still feeling out even what that feeling
Yeah, but it
even was.
yeah, but it
Because it
doesn't change the fact that you felt good. Right?
I felt okay. Just
I mean,
okay.
but like the thing is the thing about it is like it doesn't matter what age you're at if you're having a chemical release, the
Yeah.
love drug, you're experiencing that thing. It might feel different in a different kind of love, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably a different kind of love because um even at that time, sorry, it's like way off track, but like even at the time, like I knew I wasn't that emotionally invested as he was. Like I
Oh, well, that's different. That's
just
not the
knew.
same. That's not the same thing.
Yeah. So
But
that's
like
why I'm just like, got it.
even if you say I thought I loved someone, that means that you still thought you loved them. Therefore you did.
Mm,
That's the logic behind that.
mm,
Because as soon as you say I thought, that means you did think, right?
mhm.
The past tense. Like that means you're trying to undo something that you did believe at a time. It's different if you say I didn't actually love them.
Yeah.
That's a different way of announcing that thing because
Maybe
then it doesn't put it
that's
into a past tense thought.
maybe that's what people are actually trying to say. They just don't know that the verbiage is not what they're trying to actually get
Great, I'm a
across.
stickler for words. Say the words as you mean them.
Ah.
And it's okay to learn more words and learn more ways to say it and be like, "Oh, I said that wrong. This is how I should say it." You know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong with that.
Actually, that's like a good thing. Hey guys out there, like if you didn't actually love them, it's okay, just say it.
Yeah. I
Like
didn't love you.
I didn't love that person. It's shitty to say though, especially if they were more invested in you than you were in them.
Right.
But
And it's okay to be like, "I thought I knew what love was."
mhm.
Because like what that ends up breaking down to is what you thought love was. That's still a form of love that you experienced. It's just now you have like something to compare it to. And then that in turn is a different kind of love,
Mhm.
right? Because that's essentially what I thought I knew what love was, right? Because like you did think you knew a love and you did actually know a love, but
Yeah.
it's not the love that you're comparing it to.
Mhm. Which none of this like applies to Hachi in this moment either because she's been in love a lot.
Right. It's also the
So,
problem with the English language because, like, in other languages, though, there are so many words for love. We have one,
mhm.
right? Like, that's an issue all by itself because, like, English is homogenized and simplified and strips us away from definition altogether, which is why we constantly have to make up words.
Yes.
It's annoying. Um, so after the fairy tale guy part, 20 minutes later, um,
Oh.
yeah, this is a long one. It says she was infatuated with him since before she met him, and being that she got pregnant by him, and since he stepped up to claim it, even if it wasn't his, she feels that she can't say no.
Huh?
No.
I'm sorry, what?
I mean, that's a run on sentence. For one, I would like to normalize that as soon as someone decides to have a child, that they no longer are referred to as it, and we start referring to them as them.
You mean the baby?
Yes, the baby. As soon as someone consciously decides that they want to keep their baby, I would like to
Mhm.
set into a motion, ordering a motion, to consider calling the baby they, them instead of it once you have decided to bring it into this world,
Mm. Yeah.
right? Give it an identity because you've chosen now to give it an identity. So why wait until it takes its first breath to do that? And like, why not start saying, you know, them?
And just to be clear, this is when the parental units or whomever have decided that they want
They're choosing to
this,
build
they're
a baby.
choosing.
They're
Yeah, like we're
choosing to build a baby in their tummy.
right, like we're doing that because I can see so many people just taking that sentence and taking it to a weird place, calling us anti
Well, that would be
pro-choice.
fucking stupid. That means that they don't know what I'm talking about at all and that they shouldn't even talk. Just saying. But yeah, as soon as someone, like, I think I just want to normalize calling babies them instead of an inanimate object. I can understand why we use that language when it comes to before making a choice, or if
Mm-hmm.
you're choosing not to have your child
Yeah.
by keeping it inanimate so that you don't get attached. But I'm saying specifically when the mother or birthing person chooses to have their child, that
Mm-hmm.
they stop referring to them as it. That's all. It's just something I've been thinking a lot about lately, and I just think it's really, really weird to
Yeah.
like refer to like somebody who's pregnant like 8 months. Like the child is 8 months old in being built, and they're still an it.
Yeah, I'd have that is actually really strange because I'm like I've always called it like the baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like
The baby,
it's
but also they, them,
the
and like,
baby. Yeah.
um, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, why aren't, why don't we give a child in utero humanity,
Like
right? And
autonomy.
I think that
Yeah.
I think it actually falls into like the whole like idea of not seeing a child as a whole human still. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like you gain more autonomy, you gain more humanity as you get older, and you're not like an autonomous like whole person until you're considered an adult by the law. Like I think that it's still a play on that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
where it starts, right? So
Yeah.
I just want to put it out there. Maybe consider that once someone chooses to have their child, that we stop calling them it.
It is weird. I don't think I've ever heard anyone call the baby it if
I
they
have.
have.
I do all the time.
Really?
Just you now you're going to start hearing it. Now you're going to start hearing it.
Now I'm gonna start hearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I
are. You're going
haven't.
to start hearing it. It's
That's
everybody.
weird.
Everybody does it.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of times a lot of people do it even after they find out the sex of the baby
Huh.
because it's not born yet.
Huh. About
Anyway,
any help from you
we're
people?
only okay, we're still on the second sentence. Okay, I'm going to highlight it cuz it's really long. Okay.
Okay.
It says she was infatuated with him since before she met him. Period. Okay? We're going to
Mm-hmm.
cross I'm going to edit this as we go. So
You're welcome.
yes, she was infatuated with Takumi from Trap Nest. We've
Yes.
covered that. Next part. Being that she got pregnant by him, and since he stepped up to claim it, even if it wasn't his, she feels like she can't say no. I don't think that's true.
But like, say no to to him like
To being
claiming
with
it.
him. Yeah, to being with
Oh
him.
no,
Saying
that's not
to being
true.
with him. I don't think that's true at all.
That's not true.
I really
Mm-mm.
don't. And I think that I think that honestly, now here's the thing. I think that if she knew that the baby was Nobu's, that she would have ended up with Nobu if she wanted to keep the baby,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I really do. Because I think that she loved them both. I
Yeah.
think they were different kinds of love, but I
Well,
think that she
there's
loved them both.
yeah. There's also the
And I honestly don't think that Hachi and Nobu would have lasted, to be completely
mm,
frank.
mm,
I would
yes.
prefer for them to be together because I like the way that Nobu treats Hachi better. Um, but like I don't think that they had the longevity
Yeah.
part of it. I think that Nobu is too soft to deal with someone like Hachi.
Mm-hmm. I
Like
agree.
honestly, I think he's too soft.
Yeah.
So I think though if Hachi didn't want to be with Takumi, I think that she would have gotten an abortion. To be completely honest,
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Now maybe they're thinking about this whole I mean, because we had this, conversation about like no one is giving Hachi the moment
No,
to
nobody gave her a moment to process anything. That is
no,
true.
to like yeah, to like figure out like what she like maybe they're stuck on that. But in your translation,
Mm-hmm.
Takumi just flat out told her, if you can't stand being with me, like,
Exactly. That's exactly it.
you know,
If you like he gave her a full on out.
yep.
Full out.
So that negates that whole comment.
Right, exactly. That comment is more well suited chapters ago
Yes.
when Takumi was speaking for Hachi, but also we don't know what their conversations were in between time,
Nope.
the parts that we don't see, right?
Yep.
So, because like Takumi was there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobu was freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
They showed themselves in how they are, right? Now we also have to remember though, Hachi's goal has always been to be a housewife. Her dream has always been to be taken care of.
Yeah. Remember the wedding dress with the stupid star eyes in the pavilion?
In the pavilion, okay? So like you can't forget that part. And there's
Yeah.
absolutely nothing wrong with that dream.
Mm-mm.
And I apologize if it's anti-feminist, but also in a way it's very feminist. Just depends on
I
your perspective of feminism.
Yeah, I don't like when people, I don't know, when they're just like, oh, this person wants to be, you know,
Friend who was a gender ethics major is a fucking housewife
nice.
because that's where she does the best. It also
Yeah.
saves her and her husband money. She also loves doing it.
I think maybe what people are thinking about when
Is
they,
not having a choice and being forced to do it. That's
yeah,
the
like,
thing. Is like
yeah,
this is your role, this is your mode. You just have to be a baby maker, barefoot and pregnant. And yes, that was the
yeah,
case for a lot of women, and it is still the case
still the
for a
case
lot of
for
women.
some. Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, though, is what keeps them entrenched in that particular case is religion. There's no religion here. We have the demon lord, okay? So, like, it's a
Right.
whole different, like, paradigm, okay? We're in a different universe all
We're in
together.
the
We're in the
Yaswaverse.
Oswaverse.
Yeah. Right? I'm like, yeah, because I could see, because I have been bothered, but it's just like, but I don't know. It's a bigger conversation on the idea of,
Yes, that's a
I'm like,
huge
I'm like,
that's a huge conversation over there, and it's all
yeah,
subjective, right?
it's like softness, it's just like, I don't know, but like stay-at-home wife for me always feels like this beautiful, like soft, like delicious smell of like cooking food and
Okay,
feeling safe and all these other things, and I associate that with like just
motherhood.
beautiful,
Oh,
yeah, and like
that's also mothering. That's a stereotype of like the happy mother, the
uh,
safe
y-
space,
yeah,
right?
right, it's, and I know that not, that's not like it for everyone, but
Oh
like
no, that's not reality for anyone,
yeah, this
honestly. Like that
is
takes out,
true,
the complexity of humanity.
right,
But,
but if
it is
it's
the picture Doris Day,
yes,
but
yeah,
not in the TV show that she was in where she was a single mother. Not that one.
no, not that one, no, it's
Rock
the,
Hudson and Doris Day.
oh yes, right. But my favorite kind of
Kate,
Dorsey. But the idea of soft and how we can't have that,
right. Yeah,
with
why can't Hachi have her dream? What's wrong with Hachi's
because
dream? Right?
mm,
She's getting her dream. It might be in a roundabout way. The demon lord has willed it, okay? Sometimes when you ask for shit, it doesn't happen in an easy way, but you want to know what? She's still getting it.
mhm.
She's still getting the fucking thing. Every time she draws those star eyes, that's an
Yep.
incantation. That's a spell to the demon lord.
Oh
I'm sorry.
no. Like you were like Hachi drew the eyes on Naoki and Rira, so my brain's like, what does that say about that
Hey,
moment?
Rira had hard eyes. Rira did not have star eyes. Rira had hard eyes.
No. But Naoki had stars.
Naoki had star eyes, but that's because he might be the demon lord.
Right? The secret demon lord.
He might like the demon lord might actually be possessing Naoki, and it could also be that the demon lord actually watches the world through Naoki's eyes as an omnipresent being
Oh no.
because Naoki knows all the secrets.
It's true.
It's true. So the next sentence says, it's really sad and unfortunate because unfortunately, Takumi still has a lot of his own issues that he never dealt with and can be aloof a lot and uncaring a lot of the time. A lot of people are aloof and appear to be uncaring a lot of the time, and it's usually because they care way too much for themselves. Like they can't handle their caringness. So let's set that part aside. Now, yes, Takumi has a lot of issues. Tell me what character in Nana doesn't.
Right.
Like, actually tell me Who doesn't have a lot of issues out of all the Yasu? Um,
And you're like, and why is it Yasu? Tell me who it is and why is it Yasu?
exactly. Tell me who it is and why is it Yasu?
I mean, it really is like actually just, oh, I know, maybe Naoki. Like Naoki
No,
seems
I think that
fine.
Naoki actually has a lot of deep, dark secrets because nobody is that happy and doesn't have issues.
Mm,
Uh-huh.
but he's so sweet.
Yeah, but like the backstory of Naoki.
True. He made up a girlfriend. That's kind of
Naoki is gay.
oh, that's a read.
I think that Naoki's gay.
Actually, I could totally see that. No, I'm like, true.
No, but really.
Just go be Hachi's gay best friend. That would be
No,
great. I love it.
Naoki is Rira's gay best friend.
That makes sense.
Tell me it's not true.
No, I can't, especially because he made up a girlfriend in Canada. He
Of
totally made up a girlfriend.
because he needed a beard.
He needed a beard. Oh, Naoki.
Right? No, but really think about it.
No, no, that's totally true.
It checks out.
It does. That actually does check out.
It
He's just
checks
like,
out. It checks out. It checks out. Naoki's boyfriend is actually the guy from the Sparkle Planet in Paradise Kiss.
oh, okay.
Because I also think they're the same person. So
That's fair. There is your representation,
there's your
Naoki.
representation. It's Naoki.
It's Naoki.
Um,
It's not
and then
Hachi.
right, it's not Hachi. Okay, Hachi, bisexual. Yes,
Bisexual? Yeah?
absolutely. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've discussed that at length.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the next sentence is it's a classic quotes. Maybe maybe what you want isn't going to make you happy, quote. I don't know. Like, yeah, Hachi doesn't end up in like a traditional happy marriage, but she is also getting what she wanted, which was to be taken care of. And
Right.
I do think that Hachi is in love with Nobu, and I do think that she's never not in love with Nobu, because of like the future. But anyway, I just think they're different kinds of love.
Mm-hmm.
And Takumi, she knew all along who and how Takumi is. And
Yes.
you can still love someone even when you might not like what they do.
I do it all the time.
So then after that it says, but to claim love when she and Nobu visibly had conversations and did stuff a normal couple would is just nauseating when you realize she really chose Takumi even after all that. So like
Uh,
the thing is like not again, they had the stereotypical cute love. The one that everybody wishes that they have, right? The one that the one that's sold to you. They had marketable love.
mm-hmm.
Um Nana and Hachi and Takumi don't have marketable love.
Mm-mm.
They have real love.
Yeah.
Like they live in reality. Nobu and Hachi, they had vacation love.
Yes.
And like I think that Hachi does love Nobu. I don't think that her choosing to be with Takumi takes away the love that she has for Nobu.
I'm just wondering what they're talking about. Like, oh, they were like doing, like all the coupley things. And
They
I'm like,
did.
they
They did all the
did.
they were cute. This is what they mean that they were cute.
They were cute, but also I'm also like, do you not recall the scene in the bathtub with her and Takumi? Like that was fucking real.
That was so cute. Yeah, that was real.
Yeah, that was a
That
great
was like
moment. I'm
real
like,
life.
yeah, it was
Like, yeah, but like it's also being selective in seeing both of their relationships
mm-hmm.
because like when you ship someone so hard, you don't critically think about the other part, right?
Mm-hmm. The blinders. You got the
Yeah,
blinders on.
yeah. Like if you've already like if you've chosen not to see Takumi for who Takumi is in all of the intricacies, but you're choosing to see Nobu for all of those intricacies, like Nobu doesn't know how to take care of himself.
Nope.
Nobu doesn't even know how to process his own emotions and has to have a 15-year-old teach him. The only reason that Nobu was even able to date Hachi was because of Shin telling him how to. Like, actually.
Like for real though. Like it- and I like Nobu a
I
lot.
love
Like
Nobu. I
yeah,
think
I
that Nobu is a darling golden retriever boyfriend.
yes, he's sweet and lovely, but to yeah, to on yeah, to put him on I guess the Yasu pedestal, to put Nobu on the Yasu pedestal is kind of it doesn't work.
Well, and like that's also another thing though, is like Takumi and Yasu are older,
Mhm.
right? And Takumi and Yasu are actually on the same level. It's just like one is level-headed and one is a warpoodle.
It's horrible.
Like that's,
It's like
so the
it.
last sentence, right? That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the show, folks. Thanks. Um, and so the last sentence says some females only want dick and what they think is stability because from jump she always acted like a baby about working instead of really applying herself. So now you're going to enforce capitalism on her when she just wants to like be a trophy wife? What's
What
wrong with and not everybody's good at work. And what is actually applying herself? Because I'm pretty sure Hachi did apply herself.
I
She wasn't
yeah.
good at it. She wasn't good at things.
She's just yeah, I'm like she's not good and
She was
also
terrible, okay? But then as soon as she
she's
started getting
bad.
her part-time jobs, she did great. You want to know why? Because she has fucking ADHD.
Yeah. Like
She did great at all of her little odd jobs.
she's
She
got
did great at
spicy
them.
brain.
Right. She did great though when it was always a different job.
Yeah, I also don't like the whole just like, oh,
Applying
this
yourself. I don't like applying yourself.
well, applying yourself like that's garbage, but also like, oh, this girl only wants the D. I'm like, what?
She
Like
she could get the D from anyone.
literally anyone.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
like Hachi's thing is that she's like a lonely girl. She's,
But right,
you
she is a
know,
lonely girl. But like also, so like you're saying that she chose Takumi's dick over Nobu's dick. Is that like really because like I don't understand females. Some females, for one, some females is a problem. You should really reconsider that way of phrasing it.
mm-hmm.
Because
Right. If you they sound like chattel if you say female.
yeah, right. That. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just that part alone. Let's not use that as an insult. Okay, like let's not and take a step back for a second. And if you want to talk about Hachi, or if you want to talk about women, say some women really only want dick. What they
Mm.
think is stability because from jump, she always acted like a baby about working. Yeah, who wants to fucking work?
Work is well,
I don't want to work. I don't want to work at all. I don't think I should have to work to exist. Thank you very much. I think that I should be paid to exist. And I think everybody should, honestly. Like, honestly, I think that everybody should be paid to exist. I don't even think that, like, anything should cost anything. So, like, there's that. But, and then really applying herself, what do you mean? Like,
yeah,
because, like,
what do you
she was
mean?
ridiculous. She's 20 for one. Let's start there.
Yeah, and she's making 20-year-old choices. That's
Do you not
fine.
whine about going to work?
Yeah,
How are you at your first real job?
right? Did you also not spend your hard-earned cash on ridiculous
On
nonsense?
because I still do.
Oh, same.
Right? I'm like,
It makes
I'm
me
not that.
happy,
It makes me
okay?
happy.
Like, but I mean, I don't do
Ah.
what Hachi, unfortunately, Spicy Brain does, which is spend all of her dollars and then be like, oh shit, I can't pay rent. Um, but know people that have done that,
I
so
know. I
it's
know.
fine.
It's fine. You want to know what you learn? You'll learn. She's 20. Let her learn.
Yeah.
So that was the last sentence, and then it says meh. And
Ugh.
so only one person liked it, and that was Yoon San 1. 7 people disliked it. I would have disliked
Mm,
this too, to be completely honest, just because like I feel like you're projecting.
Yeah.
You're projecting a stereotype. No, maybe not projecting your personal experience, but it's a very stereotypical breakdown of like just not reading the room essentially or not actually thinking about what's going on.
Yeah, but
Or
also 7 is a good number of dislikes. That means the whole Yazawa-verse dislikes
I
this
mean,
comment.
yeah,
So
like
there.
right. So like bad luck on you. No, actually I really
Right?
like a lot of Angie's comments. So like this it's a hit or a miss, I guess, in people's like it's okay not to have our opinion. So Leah
Yeah.
responded and Leah said, "Dude, what's up with all the Hachi hatred? She's been like this for over 30 chapters. What's
Yeah.
new? That's her character. Cope." Thank you, Leah, in for the rebound.
Oh my God.
Appreciate you.
Hope.
Cope. Four
That's
people liked
great.
that one. One person disliked it, and it was Angie. And Angie says, "Nah, for real, for real,
Mm,
for real." She's one of those. Can't seem to change characters. It's tragic. But I was giving my analysis on the chapter, not showing hate, lol. Like, go troll someone else's comment. I don't think that was trolling. I think that they
mm-mm.
just called you out. So
Yeah.
Leo responds with your quote unquote analysis is full on or is full on of quote Hachi naive blah blah blah, Hachi stupid blah blah, Hachi annoying quote. Girl, go uh go foul somewhere else. The only person who disliked it is Angie. The same four
Mm-hmm.
people liked it. Angie says, because what I said wasn't facts? Question mark. Go
It's not
troll
facts.
someone else. Catch me out here in real life. Oh my god.
Oh.
Angie, you're losing points. I'm pretty sure in the past we've kind of liked your comments. Um,
Yeah. Good.
and then it says, I don't have time to be chit-chatting with a stranger on the web when my mind isn't changing. So don't comment at
Right?
all. You already lost
Right?
the game. And she's like, facts are facts, sweetie. There's a difference between being a hater and keeping it real, and you're clearly hella immature. If or when it comes to understanding the difference, also it was never that serious. Go foul someone else. That's not even a proper sentence.
No.
Your entire comment is like 5 run-on sentences and like 20 thoughts.
Yeah, yeah, and also, you just like you said before, you're like this person sounds like the projecting. I'm like the projection's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Like
So like
it's
all 4 people disliked it. And then it also says that's not even a proper sentence. Heavy on the goodbye. The same 4 people that have been liking Leah's comments disliked this one, and Yasin actually liked it. Okay, so Leah responds and is like, "You're so pissed that you're writing whole ass paragraphs, honey. No one cares." And then it stopped.
I mean, we care here on in apartment 707 because we think this shit's hilarious.
I think it's so funny. But by the way, Angie, you're wrong.
You're wrong, girl.
You're
You,
wrong.
you are wrong, honey. Like it's you say facts. I'm like, no, it's your opinion. Okay, if you've been here for a while, Kirsten talks a lot about how opinions and facts are not the same thing.
I
So
mean, and it's okay to
maybe,
have your like opinions, but also don't try to correct people's like sentence structure when I should like throw this into like a grammar like thing
yeah.
and have it fix it for her and then post it and be like, speaking of not forming proper sentences. Um like I had to highlight in different groups than your punctuation is to be able to actually read it. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that part of it. And Hachi loves Takumi and Hachi loves Nobu. And
And Nana.
Hachi has loved a lot of people.
Yeah.
And Nana.
And Nana. All
And
different ways.
they're all love. They're all
All love.
love. And actually all 3 are forms of romantic love. And romantic love doesn't always have to mean all of the parts that make romantic love, which is also why Hachi should be polyamorous.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also why she can accept Takumi quote unquote cheating. Is it cheating when you're aware? I don't think so. Um,
I mean, again, you've said we don't know their conversations, the details of their relationship, so
yeah, we don't know their boundaries. We don't know what that looks like. I have a feeling that Hachi would actually be the type of person that would be very much aware and probably say, I don't want to know about it.
mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's Takumi of Trap Nest and there's Takumi Ichinos.
Yeah.
And I think that Hachi learns that
Mm-hmm.
and that she chose to marry Takumi Ichinos, not Takumi from Trap's Nest.
Mm-hmm.
So, but to each their own
Yeah. Go
in
find a
whatever
son.
story you're reading.
Yeah, right. God.